excited to it. Andrew Coley here with me and Tommy P. I understand you're going to be doing some gymnastics later on?
Yeah, there's going to be no shortage of hijinks at this stage.
Just be prepared. I know you spent some time here in Arizona, but you got scorpions.
Yeah.
You got black widows. You got rattlesnakes. So
dangerous things.
But you're the most dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, they got to look out for me, bro.
That's right. Tommy, get out of here. Go ahead. Get on with it. Coley, how excited are you to see a doubleheader here?
Mate, I'm excited to see a single header, but I'm very excited for a double header. But the key thing here is this is really important for the championship. There's going to be so many points up for grabs over the 3 days. And when we say 3 days, we've got one event on Friday going right the way through from the morning into the lights, racing under the lights for the first time in Nitro Rallycross, which is going to be awesome. And then Saturday, Sunday, a standard event again. So the drivers have got to bring their A game. If you let yourself down in these 3 days, game over for the championship.
Some great insight there, but Coley, we are rejoined because Chase Elliott, who's most recently a championship contender in NASCAR in the 2022 season, is back at it, but he's never driven the FC1X. But another gentleman that is not new to Rallycross but new to the FC1X is most recently 2022 NASCAR Rookie of the Year, Austin Cindric. For more information, joining our team down in the pits, I throw it down to Alyssa. Alyssa, what's up?
Thanks, Jared. I'm here in the garage checking out these pretty amazing cars behind me. We have Cindric and Elliott, our two NASCAR guest drivers that will be participating in today's race. Now, I'm pretty excited because not only are they competitive, but they will be experiencing something new, some jumps that are featured in this race. So I'm really excited for that. We're also looking forward to seeing Chris Meeks take the track, 5-time World Rally winner. So looking forward to that. It is a big day here, round 5. There is going to be so many races going on. It starts with the qualifying race, but let's take a closer look at the breakdown.
Let's send it! Do not run wide! The hair is standing up my arm. Crowd are on their feet here in the grandstand.
Dude, McGinnis is airing it out.
So this is 3 laps right now.
And here we go.
It's a semi-final.
The final battle here. Travis gets it done!
Got it done! He is on the limiter! Who will drive to the pole position?
These two are psychos.
He gets #1 qualifying position. He gets the pole spot. So coming up then we've got the battle seeding heats, and that's going to put the drivers into position for this, the battle bracket. So there'll be a few drivers in round 1. We've got enough spaces there for 16 drivers. We've got, I think, 11 entries this weekend. So there'll be a few drivers do battle there to go through to the quarterfinals, then the semi-finals and the final. Each time it's 2 cars out on track, 3 laps. The Joker lap is closed, so if you lose that start, you're going to have to force your way through. And at the end of the day, or about midway through the day, that's going to give us our top qualifier.
Group E is set. And what is at stake here, Coley?
So they've been out for time practice earlier on, Jared. The result of that gave them their grid positions in this. This is the battle seeding races. So where they finish in these races will determine who they go up against effectively in that first round of battle. So I think the guys who are towards the front end won't have to do, because a few will get a bye. Remember, from the first round, there's only, I think, 3 races in round 1. Then we move on quarterfinals, semi-finals, final. That gets us through to the top qualifier.
The big thing here to remember is that it being a doubleheader weekend, attrition. Not only today, as we're cram packing all of our battle brackets, all our final into one day game, round 5, but also round 6, Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, a lot at stake, isn't there, with 2 rounds in the one weekend here.
Keep
if anybody were to have a big crash, you know, but likewise, you got to take some risks if you want to get those wins.
Kevin Erickson on the front row, next to Travis Pastrana, Fraser McConnell, Ollie Erickson, and then in that back row, man, look at that, 22 Rookie of the Year, Austin Cindric. He's right next to Ollie Bennett. Look at that, the Austin Cindric, look at that smile. It's great to see him back in the Rallycross mix. I remember many years ago, saw some photos about 11 years ago. Here we go. We are about to go NITRO. Let's go, get loud, and we are going to send it here for, again, the seeding heat. Let's see how Travis Pastrana fares. He didn't have the best weekend in Glen Helen. Look at this, Fraser already getting into Ollie Erickson, Kevin Erickson there in that second row. Now coming in, Travis Pastrana out front. He gets the clean air. Love this track, super dynamic. There we go, hit the first time, hitting that gap jump.
Look at this as well, up on the step-up jump. Some of the drivers struggling to make that. Cindric having a look up the inside. Bennett gives a little nudge there to Erickson. We saw people try the high line in turn 1, Jared. You can get
up high in there. The gap is a little bit wider than last year. Remember, that was super narrow last year. Track just looks absolutely mint. It's another jump fest, and it's so good.
Was just talking to Connor Martell about the track. He says it's loose, it feels good. Outside of that first turn where they send it, it's gripping up. Look at the options here. The Yokohama Tire Joker lap, and look how long it is. They go almost out to the freeway and bring it on back. So the tighter line, the Joker lap.
Yeah, it is. It's shorter in theory, although some of the drivers were saying yesterday, depending on track conditions, that actually the 2 lap times were pretty close. So Pastrana went in the lead, he comes out in the lead. In behind him has gone Fraser McConnell, and I think that's the call, Jared. Last year, every leader went Joker straight away.
Right.
You always believe you can keep the door shut and the drivers behind you. I love this shot. This is epic.
So great.
So good.
And also, we saw the teaser last night. We saw some of the vehicles. We're going under the lights, baby. They did it last night. They want to see the kind of the laying out of it. Look at Fraser McConnell gets into the gap and hits and fights with the berm. The berm is always going to win. So right now, Pastrana out front, got the fast lap. Fraser McConnell, Kevin Erickson.
Yeah, Kevin Erickson's just gone Joker in the background, Jared. So this might give us an idea. He was right behind Fraser McConnell, remember. This is Pastrana out on the outside section. Let's watch and see where Ericsson comes in. Coming up over the jump now, we need to see that merge. Across comes Pastrana, and on the right-hand side. So he was right behind Fraser. How close is it? And he's in front of Fraser. So it is slight. Oh, Fraser nearly collected him. Yeah, very slightly shorter. Okay, that's cool. There is a time difference. I was a little concerned if it was going to be the same, then the tactical option's gone there. But brilliantly used by Kevin Erickson. Goes Joker, manages to make the pass.
Remember, keep it together. Group E battle seating here. This dictates where and who you're going to go against in the battle brackets. So Travis Pastrana still holds on to that lead. Kevin Erickson sitting in second. Fraser McConnell. Everybody except Ollie has taken that Yokohama Tire Joker lap.
Now remember, Kevin Erickson jokered from right behind Fraz on the last lap. I would expect that Ollie's going to do that any minute as well. He might be able to get an edge on. Yeah, has he gone in the background? It's hard to see. Is that Cindric in the background? Yeah, he's gone Joker. So Ollie Erickson's gone Joker. So watch now. Is Fraser McConnell going to lose another position here? That will see him further down in the battle brackets than he wants to be. He still take TQ from there. You've got to beat people mano a mano. Here he comes.
And there it is again. Does. Man, did you see Fraser McConnell, the attitude of his vehicle? His front nose was pointed to the sky going over that hit at that finish line. And he did lose a position. So a little insult to injury. But look at that. Ollie Erickson, the fastest. And again, hitting that Yokohama Tire Joker lap. That does show you, as you said, slightly quicker than going the traditional lap.
Yeah, it's not a lot, is it, Jared? I reckon it's between sort of half a second and a second. But Pastrana leading here. Great job by him. We know this kind of track suits him. Remember, this is where he took his debut win in Nitro Rallycross last year. Yeah, unbelievably hadn't won in the series up until that point, wasn't it, really? He hadn't won either of the Salt Lake City events, but another great drive by him, and he's going to want to fight back after a tricky last weekend.
All right, Travis Pastrana looks like he is going to get the victory. Great placement for him in the battle brackets. Kevin Erickson in second, Ollie Erickson in third, and Fraser McConnell with that momentum from Glen Helen. And you can see the laser focus of the Black Rifle pilot. That is Travis Pastrana having some words. Big B waves the checkered flag with the Jamaican flag in the back, but unfortunately Jamaica comes up in fourth. Thumbs up. He's giving Kevin Erickson, say, hey, look at the dirt, look at the dust. As the dust settles, the Oldsberg's vehicle picking up a local sponsor. Dixon Flannels, an international company. That's awesome. Getting on 3 vehicles. That's pretty sweet. So, all right. So the results are coming in here. South Mountain, all the antennas there, and Travis Pastrana gets the #1 spot. Half a second back, Kevin Erickson, the other Erickson sitting third. Fraser McConnell, Austin Cindric, he's back in the mix in Rallycross, and then Ollie Bennett rounds out the top 6.
Good drive by Pastrana.
Yeah. He needed that.
Look at these jumps, Jared. So I was lucky enough to stand right down on the side of the track during some of the time practice this morning, and just right up against the fence. That's a freeze frame of Travis. He's not livid. But it's so good. The jump over the start-finish line right in front of where the crowds are going to be. Obviously, it's a little quiet here as we do these races Friday morning. Travis rolling back to the paddock in the 199. Backer, you can see in the background, along with Larson, the championship leader. Those guys are getting themselves ready for the second race, which will be coming up shortly. Proper roller coaster.
let's get settled for this as we take a look back at this first heat. Travis, it was all TP show.
Yeah, so look at Ollie Eriksson trying to come around the outside. What I was actually going to say, Jared, is remember this is the only dirt grid of the year. Everywhere else we start on pavement. So we now got 700-800 horsepower. We know at peak it's 1,000 horsepower, but you've got to get the settings right. And I wonder how many people there were trying to figure out just where they need to be. But again, more bank turns, just like we had last time at Glen Helen. It gives you the option for the high-low. I'm expecting to see tons of passing. I love this track. I think it was my favourite event last year.
You did say that kind of off camera when we went to on the open, and basically says, and rightfully so. You see the different undulations, the different elevations, the big bank turns. It just has all of it,
and it's compact. Like when you're up in the stands with the crowd, they can see everything.
No
There's only this little piece over on the right where they disappear, but then they jump back in right here in front of the crowd again, and it's awesome. I say that will be packed later on this afternoon when everybody's in and we race through to the lights, which you can see set up round. I can't wait to see that. You were here last night. I didn't make it time to see it, and some of the photos I've seen, it just looks banging.
And what's really cool about this, I think this complements the FC1X, the electric vehicle. Very fluid. Range isn't a thing. I talked to Austin about that, and he says, obviously with electrification, range, how far you can go. Well, like you said, compact, the bank turns. It's not very violent on the car. You see, even with the gap jump, they're not going very fast. At Glen Helen, they came out of that turn and kind of needed to gain some grip. They're not blazing fast to go over that gap jump. I think it's very complimentary to the vehicle and what the driver's capabilities are.
This is much smoother than last year, Jared, coming out there. That was off camera last year. We had several people roll the cars, and that's what's made this section of the track a bit faster than it was before. Beautiful conditions. Look at the track prep. They've been out there all morning. I love this. Watch this. They're going to see them. They just appear back into the arena, and that's what I mean about it. It's got a very special feel, this venue. Yeah, and that's pretty much the noise they're making over some of those big jumps. But great first race, and that one goes to Pastrana.
So here we are coming into round 5, a doubleheader weekend, and we have 2 newcomers because previous 4 rounds have had 4 different winners. But that right there, Chase Elliott, that's right, NASCAR championship contender, is going to be piloting that vehicle. Then on this side, Austin Cindric. He is NASCAR Rookie of the Year in the 2022 season. We've seen Austin in Rallycross before, but never have either of these drivers driven the FC1X. Now keep in mind, 4 previous rounds, 4 different winners. Are these NASCAR boys going to show up, the Rallycross contenders? We'll find out.
Yeah, honestly, it is a no-pressure weekend for me. Not racing for points, coming off of a full season in NASCAR, but definitely excited to get back in the Rallycross paddock and try out really what Travis has been doing with these tracks. It's incredible the amount of jumps, the turns, the banking. I think my first time on track, I'm just going to worry about the jumps, making sure to get those right, and hopefully by Sunday I have some pace and can go have some fun.
That right there says Robin Larson. He is the guy to beat. He's got the target on his back. It's electric. Can you feel it?
I expect a pretty chaotic first day of racing here in Phoenix. It's going to be the first time we run everything on one day. So we're going to do the battle brackets and the heats, the finals and everything on a day. And we're going to see a Friday under the lights. So it's going to be really cool. But yeah, we're leading the championship and it's really good. So just gonna play it smart and no big risk.
For the young Jamaican, the word that comes to my mind is momentum. If you could backtrack to most recently round 3 in Minnesota, he went end over end. But then coming into Glen Helen, California, he has the perfect event. He gets that TQ, he gets the top qualifier, and then he doesn't stop because he goes out in front of the pack and puts it on the top spot possible. He gets #1. So coming here into a doubleheader weekend in Arizona, momentum is key for the young Fraser McConnell.
I guess you could look at it like that, but I just like to trust the preparation that we always do, driver and bowl and JC. We don't leave anything unticked and, cross all the T's and dot all the I's, and I'm doing the same on my end to make sure I'm mentally and physically ready to do as best as I can at the given time.
Here we go, getting the track prepped and ready for our seeding heat number 2. Again, this is all what's at stake here is basically where they are in the bracket battles. All thriller, no filler today, baby. We start today and we end under the lights. Who's going to come out on top? We will find out in our doubleheader weekend. Chase Elliott, the number 9, a championship contender in the 2022 NASCAR Championship. He won a few years ago and he had some success in Rallycross last year in Florida. It's great to see him back here in the mix, and again, just a season, now let's call it is, at a young age, a seasoned NASCAR vet, and now coming here. He's never piled the FC1X till yesterday. TBD on how he's going to do here at NRX.
Yeah, and he got stuck right in, didn't he, last year in, where were we, in Florida? In Florida, into Tanner Faust, wasn't it, if you remember? Which it was good, though.
I was like, I think it's clean, and Tanner's like, no, it wasn't.
Yeah, the stewards didn't think it was clean, did they? So unfortunately, that was taken away. But yeah, it's great to see him back. I'm really excited to see how he's going to get on.
Here we go, we're getting ready to send it 30 seconds. Chris Meek is back in the mix. Great to see him here. Connor Martell with that Vermont sports car. Then Robin Larson with the target on his back, the DRR JC, next to his other DRR JC RX Cartel teammate, Andreas Backerud. And as I said, Chase Elliott bringing up the rear. He's piloting the Olsberg's MSE vehicle. What do you got? What are you thinking?
I'm looking forward to seeing Chris Meek back in action, Jared. He wasn't, you know, we were expecting Jensen Button to be racing over here. Button's decided he needs a bit more time in the car.
Here we go, let's send it. Let's see how good a Connor Martell start gets. There it is. I mean, we saw
Meek's not there. Meek's not there, Jared.
No, Meek is stranded out there. Meek is failure to launch on the start line. So, unfortunately, all the hype, and this is what he had last time.
It's gutting for him, Jared, because he must have done an amazing lap time during time practice to be on pole in race 2. That, you know, so right up there, and then unfortunately he's been left on the line. So that's going to mean he's going to appear in the first round of battle brackets. He'll have a little bit more battling to do, but there's plenty of time for the team to get that car sorted. Hopefully we'll see him back out to brackets later.
And keep in mind, the start is nowhere. It's kind of off, so it's not on track. So he's not impeding in the way. We won't see a yellow flag or obviously a red flag.
I'm just looking down now to try and see in the background if he's away from the line. I think he might have got away. Has he triggered the timing? Yes, he has. So Meek might be out there, but he's running a long way back in the pack. This is our first 2 drivers through the Joker lap. Remember, the Joker is a little bit shorter. In that first lap, we saw potentially half a second. Now Backerud comes in. So Backerud now, Jared, the tactics are a little bit different. He now wants to get onto the back of these 2 side by side over the gap jump. If he can get onto them, then he'll go Joker. But don't go before, because you know you won't be close enough.
Get as close as possible.
Exactly.
Almost drafting, and that way when you come out, you'll be slightly ahead, given that the Yokohama Tire Joker lap is slightly shorter. But talk about getting close. Larson getting into Martell, taking that straight line. You see the attitude of Martell's vehicle. He throws it out sideways and gets loose.
Perfect for Backerud. That's held both those drivers up. Backerud goes Joker straight away. So can he now make up enough time to get past Martell and Larson? Martell, the super sideways style. Larson in the background is a little bit tidier with his style. We saw on the exit from the underneath the gap jump. Looks up the inside now, side by side, watching Larson and Martell going to appear in the background. And Larson has got him. Backerud coming out in front. It's against his teammate in the merge, and he takes the lead. So Larson passes Martell. Now looks up the inside of Backerud. Going to pass his own teammate in turn 1. Brilliant driving from Robin Larson. What a lap.
Some insane driving there from Robin Larson. Not only does he get Connor Martell, but the zipper. As the Yokohama Tire Joker lap came in, Andreas looked like he had the lead, but Larson takes it back from him. So now it's Larson, Backerud, Martell, 1, 2, and 3.
Brilliant. That showed us, didn't it? So Backerud did have enough pace, but didn't quite keep the door shut. Now Martell slotting up the inside, and in the background Chase Elliott's right there as well. Now Chase hasn't taken his Joker yet, so Chase Elliott going Joker now, maybe going to threaten these 3, certainly.
That would be interesting,
going to be a tough merge for him, Jared.
What an interesting change of pace here as Chase Elliott, you see him there on the Yokohama Tire Joker lap. These 3 are fighting up front, but look at this, as Chase Elliott 1.7 seconds back. Here comes the zipper. Is Larson going to hold on to the lead? He's going to hold him off. Here comes Chase Elliott. Is he going to at least gain 2nd position?
Yes,
and he comes in. Oh, he overcooks it.
Wide.
Whoa, big, gets into the curtain. Look at that. Chase Elliott overcooks it. He lives up to his sponsor Accelerator as he accelerates way beyond those other drivers. Hey, but that goes to show you there's a window of opportunity.
Mate, brilliant. And that's the thing. See, he's coming in hot, Jared, because he wants to make the merge. As you said, the zipper, he wants to get there first. So he's coming a little bit too hot, run a little bit too deep. Martell's lost another position. Him and Backerud had several bits of contact in the background while we were watching the merge. They actually came over the jump into the arena, door to door. So there's that reprofiled left-hander. back part of the circuit now. It's going to be very close, isn't it? Those merges, it's such a short difference.
All right, so Robin Larson looks like he's going to get the lead after we see some exchanges. It was all Martel. Larson changed it up. Backroot came in. I mean, Chase Elliott even had an effort there, but Robin Larson comes out on top. Our current points leader holds on to it. Again, this is all about position in the battle brackets as Connor Martel gets a little too loose over that start-finish line. So Larson, Backroot, Elliott, Martel, and then obviously we saw Meek with a failure to launch. Hopefully they'll get the car back together, and I believe we're going to have some words over in the pits as Andrew Coley. We are now in the pits, and that's what I really love about it, is we're going to get some insight from them, either happy or bummed. Let's just be honest, as Wild Horse Pass Motorsports Park playing host to the doubleheader weekend. Robin Larson gets the victory. Now keep in mind, he hasn't been outside of second place this whole season, the 4 previous rounds from UK, Sweden, of course, there as we saw Minnesota, and then most recently Glen Helen Raceway. So Larson, Backroot, Elliott, Martel, and Meek is going to have to get his car back together.
So off the line, look, Meek absolutely left standing. Chase Elliott did brilliantly to avoid him, Jared. That would have been a full-on hit for Chris Meek. Just managed to flick the car out the way. And then we really got stuck into a brilliant race between all 4 of these drivers, actually. The Joker lap just being between half a second and a second faster. And proof again that these bank turns work. We've seen passing.
Love it. Yeah, I mean, this track is making, I mean, just out of the 2 heats we've seen as far as racing goes, there is some opportunity for passing. There's some opportunity for exchange with the Yokohama Tire Joker lap. I mean, we're seeing how the track is transforming early on. You know, last night I saw there were some blue grooves, there's some potholes, but right now, look at how sideways, the attitude. You have options when it comes to this track.
This was the merge look, so Backroot comes in, not even that hot, but Larson just slots underneath him and gets through. On the exit then, over the A-Shock Energy gap jump, lovely stuff. Look at that, Martel alongside Backroot. They stayed side by side for most of the lap, but they were holding each other up, and in the meantime, in the background, Chase Elliott was disappearing off into the Joker lap, so it all got quite exciting, and he came out from the merge, wanted to get there first, ends up super high NASCAR line there, and pulls the car back down. Luckily, kept it out the wall.
That got a little sketchy. Look at Connor Martel and Backroot. They were getting into it in that number 2 position, and Martel got into the fight with the tire. The tire's going to win.
Broken rear left, I think, Jared, maybe from that contact, and maybe the tire off the rim as well. So yeah, bit of carnage, but great racing. Brilliant win for Larson from his teammate Backroot. And in the background, Martel bringing it home. Good job by Chase Elliott too on his return.
And here is how it's all shaping up after those 2 seeding heats. We take a look at that Yokohama Tire Joker lap, it being just a little bit shorter. A window of opportunity is what I see as well. So Travis Pastrana will be getting a bye into the quarterfinal. It's going to be Fraser McConnell versus Meek, and then you got Backroot, Ericsson, Larson, Martel, Cindric, Ericsson. That's how it all shapes up. Who's advancing on the quarterfinals? Well, a few of those drivers have bye runs, including Ollie, Andreas, Larson, and Pastrana. After the Scandinavian dominance in Europe, the ERX Motorsports Park hosted our return to the land of the Nitro track. There, Travis Pastrana proved he wasn't all bark and no bite when he took the win in dominating fashion. However, another title contender would announce himself at Glen Helen in California. In his first ever bracket final, McConnell would not let the TQ slip through his fingers.
Fraser's tactics, unbelievable.
In Heat 1, the ever-evolving track caused problems for the drivers.
Oh, look at this, get it on.
At the last Joker merge, the leader, Ollie Ericsson, would be passed by both his brother and Larson, who went on to win. In the second heat, McConnell pulled away from the pack to secure pole position in the final. Meanwhile, Backroot and Bennett were left to jostle for P2. Bennett gets a pass on Backroot.
Unbelievable.
Wow. In the semifinal, Pastrana's bad luck would continue.
Oh, going hard into the wall.
At the front, Kevin showed some really good pace to get the win. Ollie Ericsson and Bennett really went for it and smashed into each other after the Joker merge.
The hood's up on the front of Bennett's car. Bucky.
While wearing more of the damage, Bennett's car proved the sturdier.
Who's going to take it round 4 at Nitro Rallycross?
The final was a fitting end for Fraser's perfect weekend at Glen Helen. everything perfect, but Fraz is flying.
In the last lap, the Joker merge, aka the Zipper, between Larson and McConnell was really close, but the Jamaican held position.
It's going to be a first ever Nitro Rallycross victory for Fraser McConnell.
The Glen Helen win was a career-defining moment for Fraser McConnell. But the championship leader, Larson, took P2 once again. So he remains the man to beat when Nitro returns to Wild Horse Pass in Arizona.
Nitro Rallycross is brought to you by A-Shock, a modern performance energy drink created for today's active generation. Smirnoff Ice Smash, full flavor unleashed. Gila River Resorts and Casinos, it's time to own your moment. All right, it's a beautiful day here in Arizona. We're seeing racing, but also the fans are coming out. And another member of our team who's having a lot of fun. He always has a great time, puts smiles on faces. He's got a gel blaster gun in his hand, but he's also got the party in the pits. That is Tommy's Tailgate. Street Bike Tommy, Tommy P, what's cracking?
Oh, yeah. Everything's getting set up. People are working. Fences are going up. The cars are going out to test. Drivers are walking the track. All kinds of good things are happening. And my tailgate is fully set up. It looks good. I got entertainment. I got cornhole. Check this out. Come by. Bring the kids. Bring the wife. I'm not going to cornhole. We got all kinds of stuff. We got foosball. We got Connect 4. You just do this thing. Look, it's all fun. Bring the kids. I'm going to be here shaking hands, kissing babies all day. We're going to have a really good time. And I got some hijinks coming at you. Swing on through.
So I've come down to Excite Energy Racing. They're actually just next door to where the announcing booth is. They're doing a bit of re-prep on Chris Meek's car. Come this way, let's go and have a see if we can find a chat with Chris. So Chris was really quick in time practice earlier on today, but unfortunately didn't get away from the line. So let's see if we can find out why. I'm just going to interrupt. Sorry guys, we're live, so no swearing, Chris. I'm imagining that didn't go according to plan.
I don't know, we're just discussing it. I couldn't understand the car was in second gear, but on these electric cars it can be in gear but be in neutral. But I pulled onto the line and drive, and I wasn't aware that we sat there for quite a long time on the grid, and the car automatically went to neutral, and I didn't know. So I was sitting ready to go.
Did you see how close Chase Elliott was behind you? He did a great job, mate. It was quite the swerve to avoid you.
No, I didn't, but I could have got rear-ended there. But yeah, I wasn't aware of that system in the car. So anyway, look, it's going to make it a bit tougher work through this battle bracket, but I think the pace is there, so it should look forward to a good day.
Well, I was going to say you did a great lap time, obviously, in time practice to end up on pole in that second race. You're up against Fraser McConnell, who won last time out at Glen Helen, so it should be a decent fight between you.
Yeah, well, obviously Fraser's on form, and but the lap times now are so close between everybody. I was watching it from Glen Helen, and everybody was within a few tenths, so I'm sure it's going to get the same here. But what a fantastic track, you know, it's a pleasure to drive.
I know we spoke earlier on this year, and you were desperate to come and race over here in the USA. So nice to get the call up from the team to be back in the car. And this is more like Rally Finland, isn't it? All dirt and loads of jumps.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. I really did want to come over, and you know, everyone's saying this is one of the best tracks, but it's like an amphitheater. It's like something you see in a video game, you know. So no, I take great pleasure from driving it, you know. But now the serious business starts racing, you know.
Okay, Ollie Bennett's here as well. So, Ollie, just a quick chat with you. You had an interesting morning. You ended up going off the side of the jump during time practice. So what happened there?
Yeah, I've had a tricky morning. My FP1 times were good. I was P5 in FP1, so I thought, right, we're on to a start here, where I left off. And then in FP2, which is timed, I touched the wall where they watered the track. Car was okay, so I ran the next lap. The next lap was good, but Oliver Ericsson was stuck in the jump there, so that lap was gone. Then the next lap, whatever I did do in the wall came to fruition over a jump. It took me back to my motocross days at a nice whip and landed down the other side of the jump. So yeah, it's not been a great day. And then unfortunately in the quali there, I put in some good laps. We had a flat on the last lap, which yeah, no good there. So I've had a few painful landings today, let's put it that way.
All right, well, we're hoping you and Chris have a better rest of the day. I'm going to go and take a look around your paddock. Good luck, mate.
Thank you, thank you.
So come this way, let's go and take a quick look at Chris's FC1X. We don't want to get too much in the way because the team are tearing it down right now, but remember, all electric car. So in the front here, you can see one of the motors, part of the transmission. There's actually a bit of fluid in there as well, so maybe that's come out of this breather at the top. Big Kevlar wheel arches. It's a space frame chassis you can see inside here. And if we come round and have a look in the side of the car, come round here, I'll keep the door out your way. There we go. So actually on the right-hand side over there is where the batteries sit. There is a battery under the driver as well, but the bigger battery over there, it can take a passenger. We've had some nicely terrified passengers around here over some of the jumps and things. Paddle shift up here, it's a 3-gear car. That's unusual in electric vehicles. It actually means these things can go incredibly quick in 3rd gear. We did a straight speed run at Barcelona's F1 track, and it's very, very fast. We haven't quite had the need to use that yet, but with Travis's track designs, you never know when that might end up being super quick. So great stuff. Chris has had amazing pace. Ollie can do well as well. He was going so much better last time out of Glen Helen, but Excite Energy Racing in need of a bit of change of luck for the rest of the day.
Wild Horse Pass, Motorsports Park. I'm Jared Dienda, and we're having some fun in the pits. And who's going to have fun most recently? Well, Travis Pastrana does get a bye run. You're seeing Andreas Backrud, Ollie Eriksson, Robin Larson. They get the fast pass in a quarterfinal. But the first heat we're going to see is our most recent winner, Fraser McConnell, going against your boy Meek, who had a bit of bad luck from that first heat.
Yeah, he did. He was super fast, though, Meek, this morning in time practice. So I'm expecting this to be a tough one for both of them, to be fair. Yeah, Meek, we know, is a rally driver. He's got less experience in terms of passing and things. If he wins the start, I think he'll be able to try and hold Fraser at bay. But we've seen passing Jared high and low on the banking around this place. You know, it can be done. We've seen it already.
There's so many different options, right?
Yeah.
You know, when you're driving a Hot Wheels vehicle, you only got one track. Here, there are multiple different positions. There's different lines. You know, how the Yokohama Tire Joker Lap plays a role in this, but the Joker Lap is closed.
It is.
Joker Lap is closed for these heats, so keep that in mind. So there's no opportunity there. NITRO, let's go. Let's send it here. Wild Horse Pass, Motorsports Park, our first battle bracket. Most recent winner, Fraser McConnell. Meek gets the jump.
Yeah, too much wheel spin for McConnell. You saw the car go sideways. I actually thought Chris Meek had too much wheel spin, Jared. You saw the dirt light up. Remember, this is the only dirt start grid we have all year, but really close. Meek going a little defensive now, and now Fraser will already be thinking, right, where do I pass him? And he will also know. You see, look at that on the exit again. Remember that amazing pass he made on Ericsson in the battle brackets in Glen Helen. Fraz will not want to go out in round 1 coming off the back of a victory. That would annoy him. You know, you want that momentum. You said momentum in your notebook, and I agree with you. You know, he all weekend, how strong was he in Glen Helen? He wants to carry that forward, and losing now is not the way to do that.
He just had that Jamaican special sauce, man. It was just something really that coalesced in Glen Helen. Right now, he's in the back of Meek, and Meek, like you said, in practice had some of the fastest laps.
That's just what I was about to talk about, Jared, is the fact that, and the gap's gone up, look, by a tenth of a second. Now, this is by no means over. There's another 2 laps, and Fraser will be doing everything he can. And if he can't close the gap down, I know what Fraser will be doing, which is watching and going, right, where is Chris quicker than me? Because Chris was second quickest this morning in time practice. Fraser, you know, struggled a little bit in his race as well, so he'll be watching Chris to see. Chris left, the car was in neutral. They sat on the grid for too long, and the car defaulted to neutral, which is a safety feature effectively. He didn't know about it. He hasn't spent so much time in it, so he'll be a bit gutted to be in this situation anyway.
And this really suits Meek's driving style right now. As you said, not really familiar with passing. You know, he's about the stage rally world, and here he is getting the clean air, so he's really just focusing on what he wants.
Look at the transitions, Jared. Watch his inputs. Big flick back on the gas. Now come up to the jump. Wait for this. Listen, they should go off throttle, and then roll the throttle back on as you come down. There was talking to the drivers this morning. They're saying you can get up to 14,000 RPM. If you land on full throttle, you land on the brake, you will break the drive shaft. So you butter the landing and then just blend the throttle in. Fraz has come back by a tenth of a second here, but he's got one more lap to do it, and otherwise our winner last time out is going to go out in the first round of the battle brackets.
Yeah, Meek keeping it just really tidy right now, and unfortunately for Fraser McConnell, as you said, going out early, this would just be a little bit of you know, just kind of a chink in the armor. But I think that overall Fraz still has that momentum coming at Glen Helen. But I'll tell you what, Meek, man, look at this. Looks like he's going to get the victory, and he gets that gravel machine gun in the face. I don't think there's enough track.
Fraz is trying to line him up, Jared. You can see from a few corners back, he came out extra wide to try and do it. But you're right, Chris Meek's going to get it. Look at this. Fraser McConnell can only watch on.
There you go. Chris Meek is going to get it. Really well executed by Meek to come back into Nitro Rallycross FC1X. We haven't seen him since Europe, but now here he comes for his first American round, and he shows up in spades to our most recent winner, Fraser McConnell. Chris Meek, cool, calm, and collected. That driving style absolutely suited him. He didn't have to think about anybody else. You know, if you think in the stage rally world, it's you versus the vehicle in unison going against the track, and that's exactly what he did. Wasn't worried about Fraz, puts him behind him literally and figuratively, and then gets the win. So he's advancing on.
Kept the door shut, Jared, didn't he? And nailed those lap times. He knew from this morning that he had the lap time. Then you just mustn't run wide anywhere. And I've got to be honest, I didn't see an opportunity for Fraz to get through. So at the start, we'll see in a minute, I'm sure. But Fraser's car watch snaps so sideways. Here we go. We're going to take a look back at it. Watch off the line here. They both get a lot of wheel spin, but you'll see McConnell will snap sideways off the line.
Here's that launch, and you can see them. Meek just gets a little more traction and grips up. Even what's crazy there is you see the attitude of Meek's car kind of getting swirly, and you saw the dust kick up. That's saying that he's not getting much traction, but for whatever reason, it worked out for Meek.
Yeah, it did, and it didn't for Fraz. And this is, they're having to learn again. You know, all the pavement starts so far, the teams will by now have an idea of where they want those launch settings to be, and now that's all out the window. Chuck it out the window. We've never used it on a dirt start before. You're gonna have to learn. They're gonna have to learn again when we go ice racing, of course, on studded tyres. All the starts there are going to be different.
Don't get ahead of ourselves. We're talking about snow and ice. We're talking about Canada right now. It's all about Arizona.
I'm excited for it.
I know you are, but I think you're equally as excited about this track. Here we go, moving on to our next bracket battle. And here we go, 30 seconds. We're seeing Austin Cindric. He's got Dixon on the hood, and he has gel blasters on the door. He's going against Connor Martell in that Vermont sports car vehicle, and we are getting ready to set it. Austin Cindric, most recently, 2022 NASCAR Rookie of the Year. Congratulations to him. Also, winner of the Daytona 500. I don't know.
So cool, dude.
That's super cool. I mean, to win Daytona and be Rookie of the Year, that's an amazing accolade and a great asset to have him here at Nitro Rallycross.
Oh, it was so good to welcome him back to Rallycross. He's done some Rallycross before. Martell with a bit of wheel spin. I was actually wondering, Jared, were we going to see, was there a favoured side of the grid? But Martell's got away nicely there. Cindric trying the high line, but he's a little bit too much out in the fluff, and I think that's going to be an advantage to Connor Martell. But yeah, Cindric has done Rallycross before. I love it when we get drivers cross over from other disciplines, because I hope with some of you guys at home and NASCAR fans and are watching this and going, you know what, I love this too. We want you to love it. Come and watch it.
I think that's really what it's about, is just the crossover of motorsports and electrification, and that's what he's talking about. You were talking about the start. When we go back to the replay, look at Connor Martell on that side. It's actually off camber.
Yeah.
Seemed a little softer over there, but he did get the jump. Austin, not exactly the ideal line. Like you said, he got into that curtain of the cush. You know, you saw the softer dirt up there. That's going to slow him down, you know. I mean, coming from different disciplines, as Austin Cindric has, and Connor Martell, it just shows that, you know, he's obviously had some experience with the vehicle.
Cindric's keeping it super tidy. If you watch Martell, he's flicking it in everywhere, and Cindric's coming in with just a little bit more understeer, so, you know, letting the nose of the car run a little wider and getting on the throttle a little bit later. So he runs a bit deep there, and that's cost him a few tenths. Look, it was 6 tenths, and you can see it's heading up now. So, like Fraz, he'll be watching and thinking, where can I go quicker? But no stranger to dirt. We know the guy can wheel, and I'm excited to see how they progress. Last year we had the two NASCAR drivers coming, Chase Elliott and Rowdy Busch, of course, and it just takes them a little while to get their heads around the different discipline. But they will be in the mix this weekend, Jared.
Well, you can see the attitude of what Austin's doing here. It seems like he's going for a late flick. Connor Martell kind of eases into it, and that's more of a rally fluid flick. Austin comes in, you see him whip it in there, but you can see Connor just really fluid, a lot more fluid than what Austin is. So I think he's going to take some notes.
Yeah, rotating it on the brakes, isn't he, really nicely. One more lap to go.
Watch Connor. This is where the blue groove, this is where Connor's saying it gets a little sticky. He's saying when you go into that first turn, it's getting so much grip, it's almost flipping and rolling the car.
They were talking. I was talking with Connor last night, actually, in the bar. Yeah. I was having an adult beverage. Connor wasn't, of course, because he's a racing driver. Yeah, a rallycross driver. He was being super pro, but he was talking about how they, as well, we with our track maintenance team, we try not to let it blue groove up too much. So they drag chains across the surface to try and make sure it maintains that
and they're
loose
grinding
top.
it up. He said they're grinding it up, actually. From last night to today, he says the track has performed really well, and they're doing a lot of maintenance on it. But right now, it seems to be all Connor Martell. Looks like he's going to get the victory. The gap has grown to 2.4 seconds between him and that Daytona 500 winner, Rookie of the Year in NASCAR, Austin Cindric. Unfortunately, he's going to have to park it until later on this evening. But, you know, still a great effort for his first go in competition, FC1X.
Martell will be relieved. Martell's going to face Larson in the next round. If you're wondering, Chris Meek, who won a few moments ago, is going to be facing Travis Pastrana. You're on board with Martell now. Visor down, look. Getting that car rotated really early and then lighting up. It is interesting to see the drivers changing their driving styles for the electric drivetrains. So there's up high in the fluff. Austin Cindric got within 5/10 on that first lap. I thought he was maybe going to, be right there with Connor, and then it was at the end of the second lap, wasn't it, that he just ran a bit deep again in turn 1.
Inches turn into feet, feet turn into yards, yards turn into multiple yards. And that's just the unfortunate thing, and that just goes to show equity. But the Gel Blasters Dixon vehicle of Austin Cindric, it's great to see him out here. And, I'm going to have some words with him after this, after a couple of these heats, because I really want to get in the head of Austin and Chase. And they're coming off of a very successful, next year marks 75 years of NASCAR. And seeing Chase Elliott, seeing, Austin here, and just the cast of characters, even Joey Logano, who is a teammate of Austin Cindric, winning at the Clash of the Coliseum and then winning the overall championship. I'm really excited about where NASCAR is going right now.
Yeah, man. I had a very quick chat with Chase this morning when he was talking to Kevin Erickson. Kevin was talking to him about, you hold this button down, twist it this way, another screen comes up, and everyone was like, they were like, dude, you're frightened my brain. Like, I don't know. And I said to him, how's it going? He said, you know what? I'm just here to have fun. I just want to have fun. And that's a great attitude to bring to these things, because if you put yourself under too much pressure, especially when you're going into somebody else's arena, you can end up not having the most fun, not doing the best job you can. Just chill, enjoy it.
Here we go. We're seeing Ollie Bennett in the Excite Energy vehicle. He's going against the A-Shock Accelerator vehicle. And you can see that is Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott and Ollie Bennett. 20 seconds to this Group E battle bracket. Ollie Bennett, the 42, and then Chase Elliott, the number 9.
Remember, Bennett at Glen Helen was a lot more assertive than he'd been at previous ones. He did, he was in that battle with Fraser McConnell. He did tap him round. He got told off for that. But it's good to see the pace come up. It's good to see the aggression come up. What can he do here?
Here we go, get ready to send it in from that start. Again, Chase Elliott on that softer side, kind of off camera. So Connor was actually further over on our right-hand side. Ollie Bennett gets the whole shot, getting in front of Chase Elliott. He's gonna kind of throw out his elbows here, but as you see, Chase Elliott, more of a traditional line, not getting sideways, not getting squirrely. And, Chase Elliott, it's great to see him out here, all electric, hitting the gap jumps. There you go, getting familiar with the dirt. Well done there by Chase Elliott, but then it gripped up, looked like a little understeer.
Keeping it tidy on the exits as Bennett runs a little bit deep there and pulls it back in time for the apex, closing up the gap. Elliott behind. Hard to know where to pass, isn't it? I think the thing is, when there's only 2 cars, it's much easier to keep the door shut. If you've got 3 or 4 cars, the guy in P2 is also looking at the guy in P3, and as we saw earlier on in the battle seeding brackets, you come out, I want to get the merge, and you end up going deep. It's those mistakes that come, and really, if you're in P2, you've got to force the driver in front into a mistake, and unfortunately there, Chase Elliott's run wide. That's given Bennett a bit of breathing space. Now Wally really just needs to not make any mistakes, and it's done.
And we've seen that before, just trying to get a little too tight to those tires. The tires are very unforgiving. When you get into those, watch that, just under that A-Shock energy jump.
That gantry looks too low.
So cool.
When you're on board in the car, it's like, I don't want to go too high. When you duck, when you're taking your car into a parking lot that looks a bit low or whatever, and you're like, is it going to go or not?
Yeah, I mean, this is so foreign to Chase Elliott, between, the dirt, the electrification, the jumps, the all-wheel drive, all those things. I mean, a lot of the NASCAR racers come from dirt, they come from oval racing, and they might be familiar with sliding a car around, but under all-wheel drive power, under electric, and just how the machine operates, like you said, Kevin Erickson, who has more seat time than anybody.
Sorry, Jared, he's gone. So Chase Elliott's gone. We didn't see if it was a mistake or a mechanical. Sorry to interrupt, there it is. So problem for Chase Elliott. But yeah, a lot to learn, and a bit of lap time lost now. But I think the nice thing for these drivers today, at least, is because we're doing a whole round in one day, they're not having to wait until tomorrow to get back in the seat. So they can. If I were the NASCAR drivers, I'd probably be thinking of today as a big old warm-up for the weekend.
Yeah, massive warm-up from just doing battle with one driver to all of the drivers. And we're going to see all of them out there having a blast.
Bennett chucking it around on the brakes there. It was like a three-way Scandi flick, 90s rally style. It needed a tidy up. Mind you, he can have fun now, can't he? I'm sure his spotter's been on and said, you know what? Enjoy. No, rear left puncture, that's what it is. So he's rolled the tyre off the rim on the rear left of the car. That's why he's been too sideways.
Well,
I did wonder. No, see, if Elliott had been there, maybe he would have managed to get through, but problem for him. So
and this is where it gets interesting. Keep the equipment underneath you. If you're too aggressive, you overdrive the car, you get into that grip, and you get that side bite. It's gonna, doesn't matter what tire you're on, doesn't matter what wheel, it's gonna roll off of there. And that's from, open desert racing, if it's, you know, out in the desert, if it's in the rocks or whatever, you have to keep the equipment underneath you. Know the boundary and don't push too far. And here's how it shapes up for our bracket battles. As I said, the bye run there for Pastrana. He will go against Meek. You see Backerud versus Ericsson, Larson versus Martel, and then the other Ericsson. We're talking about Kevin Ericsson versus Ollie Bennett. That's how these semifinals are as they advance on. And who's moving on to semifinal 1 and 2? The Smirnoff Ice Smash, road to the finish line. Let's take a look at some highlights here. And unfortunately for Chase Elliott, it ended a bit too early, but overall, these bracket battles, Austin Cindric versus Martel, and like I said, he's fairly left.
Look how loose it is as well, just off the left-hand side of the grid, and you're seeing people start to select their grid spot just a little bit more carefully, a bit like in the rain when you want to avoid the rubber and you see them offset slightly to the side. So they're going to be looking at those. Yeah, they're going to be looking at those grid spots and going, okay, because the marshal will want to put them in a certain place. They'll be like, this is where you line up. And they'll be like, oh, no, just 6 inches to the right. And all of the teams will have been watching that and going, okay, where do we want to go? You know, is there an advantage? Is the left or the right better or worse? We're not seeing it so far. I think it's been settings mostly so far.
All right, so here we're looking at Chase Elliott, who unfortunately ended a bit early there for Ollie Bennett in the number 42, you know, but yeah, what are you looking at?
Bennett went really early on the brakes, Jared, and that was very wise. You know, you got one of the best passers in the business behind him. You cannot leave him a gap. That's what Pastrana learned last year with the Hansons, and Bennett on the brakes 3 times early just to absolutely make sure that Elliott had no choice but to go on the high line, and the high line isn't going to work. That's something we saw last year, remember, in turn 1 here. You've got to nail it onto that inside line if you want to hold the whole shot.
And, you know, we're talking about the gap jumps here, but even just the small rollers, there's a gap there.
Timing.
Going over that crest and like you said, getting off throttle, back on throttle to not cause any damage to the vehicle. You need to maintain, keep the equipment underneath you. So Ollie Bennett advances on. He goes on to semifinals, and we'll find out who will eventually get the battle bracket and get that TQ spot. You know what's interesting here is we're taking a look at, you know, the open desert here, and we saw some rain actually on this track before we came, but now the forecast is absolutely sunny. It's 70 through the entirety of the weekend. The forecast is going to be awesome, and yeah, there we are riding with Fraser McConnell, who actually got the loss, but you know, Meek, I'm telling you, he's the guy to beat right now.
Meek's so pleased to be here, he really is. I was talking to him earlier on, and he's all smiles just about how much he loves the track. Yeah, the guy's won Rally Finland. I think it's 5 WRC victories, but the biggie is Rally Finland. If you ever win Rally Finland, you're instantly a legend in terms of rally drivers. It's the fastest rally in the world. Here he is on an all-gravel track with 1,000 horsepower and all-wheel drive. Look at him flicking it about. Yeah, and Fraser, as we know from the win last time out, is one of the top drivers. He's in P3 in the standings, left-hand side of your screen. Fraser McConnell right up there with a win at the last round. Chris Meek got him here. So good to see Meek back. I think it's going to mix things up a bit.
It's great to see all the battle brackets. I'm going to leave you real quick because I'm going to head over and talk with Austin and Chase, see if I can get in their head and what's going on, because they got to sit on ice right now. But I'm going to head on over there, Cole.
Get going, Jared. Jared's going to bring us the updates from our guest drivers from NASCAR. Fraser McConnell was looking for a way through, but Meek, remember Meek, not with the experience in terms of racecraft, he's learning. Had some brilliant starts earlier on this year. He got into a turn 1 shunt, unfortunately, with Pastrana at Lydden Hill after a great performance in qualifying. And then come Sweden, had a shocking day 1, and on day 2 got a launch from the back of the grid that saw him almost up to the front row immediately. So fantastic stuff by Meek. He gave the seat up to Button. Button needs a little bit more testing, so Meek's back in for this one. And going through, beating Fraser McConnell, and goes through now to the quarterfinals. Meek is going to face Pastrana, so a lot of respect between those two for their rally antics.
Now, obviously, in their last race in LA, you did qualify as top qualifier, and then you obviously won that race. How hard is it to kind of not get that exact position or that exact advantage this time around?
No, it sucks, but it's a very competitive field here at Nitro, and you know, the weekend's far from over, so a lot of work to do.
This is very true. Now, how important is it for you now to deal with this position going forward? How do you use that to your advantage?
I'm just gonna, you know, do as best as I can and work this car to the front.
Thanks, Fraser. Appreciate your time.
All right, I am here, and you can see Chase Elliott. He's actually heading over to the scales right now, seeing what's going on. Again, Chase Elliott, we have seen him in Nitro Rallycross, but not piloting the FC1X. How he's faring right now, I think he just needs to get more familiar with the vehicle. Let's go and find out and see if we can see Austin Cindric. Here's the Gel Blasters vehicle, and Austin, not a newcomer to Rallycross, but go ahead and follow me over here, watch your step. And let's see if we could find Austin, see where he's at. Not seeing him over here. Ollie, we got Ollie Erickson here. We're just gonna cram it on in here. So Ollie, you, where's the baby? Where's the? I know it's not your baby. It's your niece, your nephew, right? Niece, your niece. Hey, what do you think of this track, man?
It's pretty sketchy, man. Like, it's so technical and yeah, so much airtime. So always, you know, as soon as we do a corner, there's a jump or 2 jumps. So you just never know. And yeah, it's fun for sure.
I think it's really cool. And we talk about the gap jump, but even just the rollers, there's gaps there. Do you see many different opportunities of line as they're kind of, you know, you're seeing the blue groove form, they're kind of chopping it up, making sure. And Connor was saying that first turn, it's got a lot of grip. What do you make of it? I mean, overall grip, traction, loose, like it's different in all different sections.
Yeah, for sure. As I said, you know, during a jump, you set up for the next coming corner. So it kind of depends on where you end up in the landing. But yeah, there are some different lines to take, like to rotate a little bit in the jump. Of course, you have the puncture risk. But yeah, a fast line it's hard to tell here around here. It changes from time to time also. So just grip it and rip it, right?
I like it. You're going up against Andreas Backerud in the next bracket battle. Do you like the format, the bracket battles, and then going to TQ, and then going? Guess what? We're going under the lights. That's going to be exciting too.
Yeah, I loved it yesterday. We had a test session during the lights. That was cool. I really enjoyed that. So I hope we do more of that. So yeah, for sure, the battle brackets are highly driver prestige, I'd say. You know, it's good for qualifying, but it's more to know, you know, to have the bragging rights in the paddock. So I got to the final twice now, so I try to make it once more.
All right, there we go. Thanks, brother. Thanks, have some fun out there. Ollie Erickson here. Back to you. Back to the action here. Nitro Rallycross, Wild Horse Pass, Motorsports Park, baby. All right, we are getting set as the track has been groomed. Man, talking to all the racers here, talking to young Ben Mayer, you know, the 13-year-old who's racing side-by-sides. The quarterfinals have shaped up, but the track, it's transforming. I love that coming into this, they're saying, hey, this turn has grip, this is this. It's going to change. And just even going now into the quarterfinals, going to semifinals, into the finals, what do you think, Coley? Who do you fancy?
It's all about the start, Jared. I think that's the thing. That's what we found. It's all about the start. We know you can pass on this track, but one against one, the driver in front can focus on keeping the door shut. When there's a pack, you've got to watch out for people that are taking the joker, which is not open during the battle. So it really is about start. So while I'd love to go, I think so-and-so's on form, it is much more about who gets a good start. You've got to get away from the line super smoothly. We can see Meek and Pastrana lined up down there now. Meek's side of the grid so far kind of has looked not better, but, but maybe one side of the grid's better. Maybe the people on the other side got the start wrong. You know,
or is it in the head?
Start, yeah.
Is it in the head? Because, like you said, this is the first all dirt start on that start grid. Yeah. This is Travis Pastrana's first time going against somebody. He's going against Meek, who basically kind of, if you don't have anything to lose, you know, you kind of go in with a little more attitude, a little more swagger. So we'll see how Meek goes against Travis Pastrana. Here we are, 30 seconds to start. Again, Travis Pastrana on that inside line. We saw a couple of the drivers, including his Vermont Sports Car teammate of Connor Martell. He actually went on Travis's left, our right, kind of going closer to that wall, but it seemed looser over there. Now, Chris Meek, who's rejoined us, as you say, Finnish stage rally racer winner. I mean, go and look it up. Go and roll the tape. You know, we'll pause it. Look up Chris Meek going hard in Finland.
That's an awesome one. Or Chris Meek Mark II Escort Colin McRae stages. That's one that's worth watching as well. If you're interested, he's a super committed driver.
Here we go.
Better start for Pastrana though. So last time out, Meek got the jump. If you remember on Fraser McConnell, this time round, Pastrana's got the
the jump on Meek. So now Meek's got the other job to do, Jared. Now he's got to try and find a way past. And he would admit himself, he's still learning the racecraft.
Wow, absolute mega jump there by, I'm stealing your line there, Coley, by Meek. He went a little bit longer than Travis Pastrana. I was talking with Ollie Erickson. Holy cow, Meek, you talked about sending it in the Colin McRae stages. He's sending it right now in the Arizona Wild Horse Pass, and he goes into the side of Travis Pastrana, that Power Plus Vermont Sports Car vehicle.
Now remember, he got into Travis in the start in Sweden, goes up the inside. Travis going to get a half spin almost. Chris straightens him out, and he has a half spin. Oh, so Chris Meek ends up there as kind of, I don't know, victim. He's up on the dirt bank on the inside. Pastrana is now miles in front, but they seem to have a bit of a magnet, Jared. If you remember Linden Hill, they hit each other in turn 1 Sweden, and they've got so much respect for each other because they're rally guys at heart, you know.
Game respect game, but at the end of the day, the gloves are off. They're going for
you got a race.
And you saw Meek get in the side of Travis. Travis had more attitude. He had more angle going into that outside turn, and then Meek came on the inside. When he snapped back, he clipped him, and unfortunately, Meek goes in, and he's beached up on that berm.
It's gutting, isn't it? Because that was his chance to get through. I thought as Pastrana came up there, Jared, he was a little bit wide. Meek's going again over the A-Shock Energy gap jump in the background. Nicely done, and just appeared there, didn't he? So he's there should something happen to Travis. This is where Travis ran wide last time, and Meek got it inside. So he actually straightened Trav out. I wonder if he hadn't been there, what might have happened. So, but Pastrana into the rhythm now, and flinging the car about a 16-second gap. Although Chris has just taken 5/10 out of him in that last sector, but yeah, he's not going to do it with a lap to go.
Just not enough track, not enough laps. You can see that it's only 3 laps for this. We got 1 lap for Travis Pastrana to get this victory and advance on to the semis.
His spotter will be on, Jared, telling him exactly what you've often said, which is keep it underneath you. You know, there's no need for him to put too much rotation on it in the corners. There's no need for him to do anything other than butter the jumps. Just make sure that you keep it smooth, because he's so far out in front. The only thing that will stop him is if he pushes something or pushes a tyre off a rim or makes a silly mistake. So he'll be cruising, and that's why Meek's closing down so quick.
We got a moment here just to talk about, and I was again during the break in between talking to Ollie Erickson. I was talking about Fraser McConnell and Fraz really nosing it up over that finish line, and Ollie said that's what we want to do, more of a dirt bike. Trust that suspension in the rear to get some distance and get the vehicle underneath you and kind of put that nose to the sky. And Fraz did it insanely just earlier today. But look at that, Travis landing properly, just smooth, and like you said, kind of get off throttle, get back on throttle, not to break any drive shafts.
Easy win for Travis Pastrana. Big P's there with a good checker flag wave for Chris Meek. Chris will appreciate a USA checker flag wave there. You know, he's wanted to race here for a long time. He's out of the battle brackets for now, but as we've got a whole day's event today, none of the drivers who've missed out are thinking, oh, I've got to wait till tomorrow. They're all going to be back in action in a couple of hours' time when we go heat racing. So there's time for them to bounce back on the same day. Normally you go out the battle brackets, that's it for Saturday, you got to wait for Sunday. So this is Meek coming up. So he tried to line Travis up, look, off the jump, comes in, gets into the door here. So Travis now knows, okay, Chris Meek's business. Right. Now watch for Travis running wide. He comes up top, look, puts the rears out in the dirt, but we didn't see it, gutted.
Yeah, that was it. So you saw him throw way too much angle at it. Yeah. Meek came in on the inside line. When Travis snapped back, and like you said, if Meek wasn't there,
would he have half spun?
Yeah. Would he have spun? Or would he just come out of drift? Let's just call it, and he was straightened out. Yeah. So he probably would have come out of drift, straightened out. But Meek being there, he was just unfortunate timing. So
yeah, exactly. That's just, you know, and Meek had to have a look, didn't he? You know, Pastrana runs a bit wide and has got a half spin on. You're going to stick it up the inside. So they both did exactly what you'd expect them to do, and unfortunately, you know, for Chris, Travis got away with it and he didn't. So I'll go and try and have a catch up with him in a bit and see what we can find out.
All right, moving on to our next quarterfinal bracket, we got Andreas Backerud going against Ollie Erickson. Now, Ollie Erickson, again, a lot of seat time behind the wheel of the FC1X, but Andreas Backerud, Snackerud, Team Blue, going and pulling for him in this DRR JC RX Cartel vehicle. Coming to us from Norway, Andreas Backerud, definitely a force to be reckoned with. And we are about to see these two gentlemen throw down who's going against Pastrana in the semis. 30 seconds to go, Andreas Backerud, Ollie Erickson. Who you placing your money on? We're right here next to Gila River Resort and Casino. Yeah. The bets are on.
Are we going on red or are we going on blue? Which side of the grid? You know what? Ollie Erickson and Kevin Erickson both showed increased pace, and we know they're due that weekend. I'm loving the fact everyone is so close in this series at the minute. Really, you know, you can pick anyone. It's going to be about that start again, Jared. We've not seen anyone pull off a decent, successful pass so far in the battle brackets.
I think Ollie's going to get the jump, but Andreas Backerud's going to fight for position. Here we go. He's going to get the jump. They're about neck and neck right now, and Andreas narrowly edges him out. Backerud, here he goes. He's going to throw out the elbows. Ollie Eriksson taking that wide swing. Andreas Backerud defends his line, and look at that. See how quickly he grips up and goes towards the gap.
So Eriksson, you can see on board, had a couple of little nips on the handbrake, just trying to get the rotation done. I'm surprised he didn't go for the wide line there to come in low on Backerud on the exit, but Backerud knows as well just to keep the door shut. There he goes into the underneath of the A-Shock Energy gap jump. That's where we saw a couple of brilliant passes last year. Steve Arping got stuck in down there. Eriksson did as well.
I know in your recap of last year, you talked about Travis.
There wasn't enough room.
What's that?
There wasn't enough room, and
no,
yet people made it. It's like the narrowest part of the track. It's actually wider this year, and the gap's wider than last year as well, apparently. Oh.
Yeah, it was Arpin and Pastrana. They exchanged some blows like a boxer. But here we are, seeing the back end of those vehicles up and aired out. There's the start-finish. So we're going to complete one lap here. Backerud, you can see, I mean, this is a good telling sign of what we could see in the finals. But look at Backerud, just a straight line approach, and then Ollie getting really kind of amped out, throwing that car sideways as they both head over that A-Shock Energy. Look at Ollie taking that wider line.
Yeah, he's gone high this time, Jared. He's looking for the low exit, but Andreas knows, and he's just waiting on the throttle and holding it on the inside line and not allowing the door to open. That's what you got to do if you win the start.
All right, you can see both of them with angle going underneath the gap jump. Now, a little bit of flare sideways, and that's where it gets interesting. You can see them go ahead and air it out, and are they landing at angle? That's where a tire could debeat. That's where you're exposing your equipment and potentially get debeated. Ollie Eriksson, look at that. You see he had to straighten it out. He got a little too wide.
Yeah, he was really squirrely on the brakes into the same place that Travis went wide. He got the car super sideways in there. I was looking to see if he got a problem or not. I don't think he has, other than some of the lower front aero on the front of the car is hanging off a bit. Look at that. This is what we mean when you get the car sideways and get it straight on the exit. All four wheels facing forward, get that traction, put that power down. Gaps up to a second. Backward's got to hold on for just 3/4 of a lap. Now there's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's the air scoop hanging out the bottom of the front. It won't be making much difference at these speeds.
No, it's pretty much just aero at this point, you know, given that up front you got motors and you got batteries. You know, you really don't have the kind of the intake or the cooling. You want to run cool and efficient, but not as critical as what you call an ICE engine, internal combustion engine. Gosh, so much roost being thrown up here, and this is what I talk about transformation. You know, if you're deep in these brackets, you can see it's going to be drying out. So again, for the Larson Eriksson, you know, deeper as we go on, the track is transforming.
Backward takes a checkered flag. He progresses, so it'll be Backward versus Pastrana in semi-final one.
That'll be fun.
It will.
So up next, we have two more battles. We got Larson versus Martel, and then we have Eriksson versus Ollie Bennett. So already advancing on into the semis, as you just said, Coley. Travis Pastrana versus Andreas Backerud. I thought for sure Ollie would challenge him a little bit more, and I thought, you know, he did get that jump, but like I said, you know, Backerud, he found that sweet spot.
Just kept the door shut. Here it is that Ollie's going high and low, trying to find a way through, but he can't. Underneath the A-Shock Energy gap jump, this is where I think it's slightly wider than last year. Just trying to get a good exit here up to the top. This might be the lap where Eriksson got sideways on the run into here. Yes, it was, look. So he got really sideways really early. Still managed to get it back pretty much to the apex, tightly done. Then this next section, I love watching the transitions through here. And I think that's where you can see the FC1X as an electric vehicle. In some series struggle to get the cars this drivable, but they actually use a prop shaft in the car, which gives the driver an amazing feel. Makes it feel much more like the traditional four-wheel drive transmission than a separate front and rear end, for want of a better way of explaining it. But we'd need to get you a very clever engineer to explain it in much better terms than that for you to truly understand the technicalities of it.
That one video.
Thanks, mate.
Here we go with our next quarterfinal battle. That is Robin Larson versus Connor Martel. Robin Larson, the other half of the DRR JCRX cartel, and Connor Martel, the other side of the Vermont Sports Car team of Pastrana and Martel. Now Larson, you can see the championship position, currently first, and of the 4 previous rounds has not been worse than second place. So Robin Larson Let's go, Nitro, let's go, and get ready to send it. Here we go, Larson. Again, that side seems to be the fastest out of the gate, and it proves to be true once again. But just by about half a car. And look at Larson. Looks like he almost forces Connor Martell on the outside. Larson hitting that gap jump, that A-Shock Energy gap jump, no problem.
Whoa! Contact over the jump between them. Did Larson get nudged wide there or not? It's hard to tell. We heard the noise, didn't we? Martell up the inside line. Larson gives it back to him. Martell, I think, broken the car off the side of the road. Takes out the Can-Am branding. Boots it though, and he's straight back in. So is the car damaged or not? I think it is, yeah. Martell's got a problem then, and that'll be the contact, Jared. So you got to go aggressive. He wanted to make the pass, not this time.
Yeah, it just didn't work out, and both of them were kind of giving it. I would love to see that different angle. As you said, it sounded like they had contact over the jump. Could have been rocks, could have been mid-air, but then after that, that's where they got into it, and Larson kind of pinching Martell out. I don't think it was malicious. I think it was just racing. It was just racecraft, what's going on in the whole deal. So as you see, Connor Martell, you see him retire. There it is, the Yokohama tire. Unfortunately, just the equipment, falling off of the vehicle, and it's going to be all Robin Larson, who's just absolutely parading his way. I mean, I love seeing Larson. You know what I love about this is, especially Group E, seeing Larson kind of have some struggles in different vehicles. Everybody in last year to this year. Supercars, awesome, great, love them. Combustion engines, love the line lock and all that. Here, it's spec, so it really shines a light on racecraft, talent, learning the equipment, race line, all these variables.
And consistency as well, but to have the speed and the consistency, the fact he hasn't finished lower than second, and that's even last time out. He went out in the first round of the battles in California, so he had an absolute shocker there, and he still went on to come P2. I mean, it's crazy really. On board now, watching the Swedish driver, see is he going to change gear, the paddle that's just in front of his right fingers. He's pretty chilled now, look. A little bit of handbrake up into the right-hand hairpin at the top, straighten it out, and on the gas, I was going to say, we can still call it that. On the loud pedal, still call it that.
Yeah, on the go fast pedal?
I think it's the go.
The go pedal?
Stop, go, simple.
The right pedal? I mean, no matter what country, if you're driving on, the right side or the wrong side, it's always on the right.
Yeah. Well, yeah, yes, correct, yeah.
You were like, wait, was that kind of a dig on...
Of course, we believe we drive on the right side of the road, Jared, which is the left side of the road.
People always say, oh, you speak English. I said, no, I speak American. I don't speak the Queen's language, you know what I mean?
The King's language.
The King's language, there we go. There it is, proper. All right, so...
easy win, easy win.
Easy win, unfortunately. I don't think words are going to be exchanged between Larson and Martell. Just got the bad end of the stick there for Connor Martell, and again, our current points leader, he advances on in the semis.
Given the choice, I'd love to see, and I don't think we'll be able to, just so you know, you want to see it from Martell's onboard as they come up over the jumps, because he was inside, wasn't he? He almost made it round the outside, so this isn't, okay, this is the lead up to it. Here's the gap, so watch on the right now. We went up to the top.
Ooh. Yeah, Larson just got squirrely.
Wasn't a lot, was it? And then dunk. But that's tyre on tyre, Jared, and that's the problem, is the momentum that is in these cars. And then if the Yokohama grips the Yokohama, there's so much energy going through that you can break something mechanical.
Yeah, and again, if we show it again, you saw mid-air, when Larson came down, he got squirrely, so he kind of just rolled with it and had to throw the car out more sideways, and then just came down and had contact with Martell. So racing incident, got a little squirrely here as we move on to the final bracket battle in the quarters. And that is Kevin Eriksson and Ollie Bennett, the other Eriksson brother. Got Dixon on the hood, Olsberg's on the door, and Ollie Bennett with the Excite Energy rounding out that two-car team. And the Eriksson boys, one of them's already knocked out, courtesy of Andreas Backerud. Ollie Bennett would love, and we saw Kevin Eriksson earlier with his child, his niece, or excuse me, his daughter.
Yeah.
And in the food line and catering.
There was some skills going on there. He was balancing a very small child on one hand while serving himself up a buffet, wasn't he? So that's some skills.
Here we go, Kevin Eriksson, Ollie Bennett, who's going to get the whole shot? Again, that inside line seems to be the quickest, and I think Kevin Eriksson's going to make it once again the fastest. Kevin Eriksson on the inside line, Ollie Bennett, let's see what kind of line he takes. He goes around the outside, and Kevin Eriksson Eriksson still has that clean air.
Made it work, Jared. He's got alongside him. So Bennett managed to get alongside him in the outside of turn 1, and he's inside now.
Ollie Bennett throws it sideways. Kevin Eriksson looks like he overcooked it in that turn, and Ollie Bennett now is out front.
Great drive by the English driver. We said his form was coming on. Kevin's going to try and repass him on the exit. Bennett's now just got to keep the door shut. He managed to keep Chase Elliott behind him. Can he keep Kevin Eriksson behind him? But he must make no mistakes, because Kevin will pounce if he slides just a little bit wide.
Kevin Eriksson knows these vehicles probably better than anybody, given that, you know, his family, his dad, and the Olsbergs camp has developed this vehicle. So, you know, he's had more seat time than anybody. And going against, as you say, Ollie Bennett, who's really seeming like he's hitting his stride, and it is showing.
So Bennett's proved, Jared, that you can go kind of around the outside in turn 1. That might be where the track conditions have just changed a bit as we've gone through the 4. Maybe the grip's come up a little bit more, and he just managed to hold on enough to get the power down on the exit and be alongside him for the run up to turn 2. Or now he gets a bit too sideways, and Kevin Eriksson looking up the inside line, but he's not close enough. So Bennett's got a lap and a half to go, and he might find himself through to the semi-finals.
Well, like you said, going wider here in this instance, it seems like they're carrying more speed. It might be loose, but you're carrying that momentum all the way through. Look how much dust is being thrown up. Again, we're now the 4th battle into the quarterfinals, so it's changed from when we saw earlier Pastrana and that was Meek, and now here, look at how much dust is being thrown up.
Do you know what? Bennett, Jared, has gone out in the first round of the battles all year looking at this. I think he's managed an 8th at one point. He's had 3 8s and a 9th. So this is going to stick him into the semis. That's going to be a top 4 finish, regardless, you know, even if he loses top 4. It's a huge step up. I'm pleased for Ollie.
Yeah.
You know, great.
Like we said, getting back to it being a spec class, this really highlights it highlights either the mistakes or highlights the highlights, just that. So what's great here and what's interesting is if Ollie gets this, neither Kevin or Ollie are in the semis. That's crazy.
We said that Ollie Bennett needed a slightly better day, didn't we? After this morning, he threw it off the side of the start-finish jump, broke something on the car when he landed, just turned left and literally ended up off the side of the track. And this is a much better performance.
Here we go. Looks like Ollie Bennett will begin the checkered flag from Big P. And Ollie Bennett makes it in. And Kevin Eriksson is knocked out. So surprisingly, look at that. The semis are forged. Travis Pastrana versus Andreas Backerud. And then we got Robin Larson versus Ollie Bennett. Congratulations to Ollie Bennett. The Excite Energy vehicle advancing on.
Great drive.
Like you said, it's really great to see Ollie Bennett, and going against Kevin Eriksson nonetheless. I think that really showcases, as you said, hitting his stride, feeling this track. It's a lot of confidence for him, especially going against Kevin Eriksson. Moving from the round 1 into the quarterfinals and now into the semifinals. Travis Pastrana versus Backerud, Robin Larson versus Ollie Bennett. The Smirnoff Ice Smash Nitro Rallycross road to the finish line in the bracket battles. Here we are taking a look at how this all shaped up and how we got here. Meek, who's been fast but not as fast, going against Travis Pastrana. He's got something to prove after, you know, kind of a bit of a lackluster Glen Helen. He's all dirt. He is the dirt master. He loves it on the dirt. He feels comfortable. He has won with the dirt.
Except at this point, where he was slightly not at 1. But yeah, unlucky for Chris. That could have been a decent battle, I think, with the two of them taking a few rally-style risks, but wasn't to be.
All right, so there we are seeing that is Backerud, who took out Ollie Eriksson. This is Connor Martel and Larson. So, you know, the contact proves to be devastating, you know, and we just see there was that contact, and right here, boom, and there's that Yokohama on Yokohama, causing Connor Martel to go off course and have to retire. And that proved to be easy for Robin Larson. But man, we're talking about hitting our strides. Kevin Eriksson, but Ollie Bennett. Yes, Eriksson does get the jump, but Ollie Bennett seems to just be finding that secret sauce.
He comes around the outside. Watch this. Nobody's made that work all day, and somehow he's got enough pace up the hill, and then Kevin doesn't turn in because Kevin's a pro, and Ollie gets down in the blue groove there, just gets a bit more traction, and then didn't make any mistakes and held on to the position. This is Ollie Bennett's best ever performance in Nitro Nitro Rallycross qualifying already, and he's through to the semi-finals. Could he make it through to the final? Could he take his first ever, and Exo Energy Racing's first ever TQ?
Well done by Ollie Bennett, but he's going against Robin Larson, our points leader in the semi-final battle brackets. And then, of course, we'll see Travis Pastrana and Andreas Backrud before that, so don't go anywhere. More Nitro Rallycross here at Wild Horse Pass Motorsports Park in Arizona. A beautiful day here in Arizona as we are taking a look at the bracket battles. And this is Backerud versus Ollie Eriksson from the drone POV, riding shotgun and just to get in the eye in the sky.
So good.
Yeah.
I love it. It's Justin Smash often after the event, he goes back through, he finds the bits which are fire, and obviously, you know, our TV guys choose the various different cameras, and Justin goes, you know what, I'm going to take that bit there, I'm just going to show it from the drone point of view, and it's so good.
There are current standings in Group E after 4 rounds of competition. Larson, Backrud, McConnell, your top 3. You can see the rest of the field and where they shape up, but there's a lot of racing left. Between this being a doubleheader, round 5 today, round 6 on game day, and then we go to Canada for a couple rounds and TBD on the remainders. Kind of changing things up given just what's going on with the climate of the world and what's going on with everything post-COVID. So we're excited to see how the season shapes up.
I think it's worth noting as well, Jared Fraser McConnell's gone out in the first round of qualifying today, and Larson and Backrud are through to the semi-final. So both of the RX Cartel cars run by Dreyer and Reinbold JC Racing, they are through to and could potentially just nick a few more points. So Fraser will be disappointed with that, but he's got the rest of the day to try and come back. The majority of the points are later on in the final for Group E, but just every one of those points counts. Look at last year. You know, one single point would have changed the destination of the championship last year, and it's still very close between those top 3 drivers.
Yeah, and Fraser should just learn from his mistakes. You know, there's a lot of racing, not only for the entirety of the season, but also here in Arizona. This is the battle brackets. When push comes to shove, you know, yeah, he's not getting the TQ, but he could still get the big trophy tonight and going into Sunday's game day. So a lot of racing still to be had. We'll find out who gets the TQ here today, and of course the eventual win here at Wild Horse Pass Motorsports Park.
All right, now you were looking like you were having so much fun out there, and I know you had a little competition with Ollie this whole time in battles.
Yeah, I mean, this track here at Wild Horse Pass is just another world. I mean, it's such a flowing, like, competitive track. Everyone is quite equal on times. Travis and Chris Meek probably, they have been flying. But yeah, I've lost the battles against Oliver Eriksson 2 times this year. I told him before the battle, I'm going to take you down. And had a great start. The JC DRR RX Catal car works perfectly, so yeah, I just did my job, and I saw the gap to Oliver was extending every lap, so I was happy for that.
You were able to get the jump on him pretty good, and now you're facing Travis in the next round. How do you kind of use that to hopefully get that jump again?
Well, I think the track kind of like evolves a little bit to my favor, so I just hope it keeps on like evolving. I like the blue groove, and I like when the conditions are staying similar all the time. So, but I mean, Travis has been flying all day, and he haven't put his foot wrong even once. So, but I'm gonna give him a run for his money.
Now your teammate over here has 2 TQs on his car. I'm looking at yours. I think you need one on yours. How hungry are you to get that top qualifier?
I mean, I'm very, very eager to get some stickers on my car as well. He's been flying. He's been consistent, and yeah, I just need to wrestle up and get ready, and hopefully beat Travis.
We're looking forward to see you on the track. Appreciate the time.
All right, Andreas Backrud, like you said, eager to get that TQ spot. He's going against Travis Pastrana, who has something to prove. I mean, just anybody can really shine, especially on a track like this. There are so many turns. You know, I was talking about the racers, talking about how flowy Glen Helen was, but here it's compact, different lines, it's transforming. But let's take a look at some of the best jumps of the season so far. Again, we kicked things off in UK. We eventually went on to Sweden. We went to Minnesota. And of course, we had Glen Helen. Now here we are in Arizona. Barcelona. Any of these stand out to you? Can you recall them? It seems like forever ago, but it seems like just yesterday.
Yeah, I can. You know what? It's the first ever gap jump in Europe. That was pretty cool. That was up in Sweden. That was Lydden Hill. You've seen a shot of there. Lydden's now got this massive jump there. It's all been nicely grassed in, Jared. Yeah, they've made it feel like it's a real part of the track permanently. Chris Meek backing it in. Amazing, wasn't it? Through the long right-hander. And then, of course, we came to America and we got into some seriously big jumps over here.
I'm surprised nobody ended up in the pond except Street Bike Tommy. He's the only one that ended up in the pond. No cars did. But as you said, Meek just backing it in. And I mean, ERX, I love that track. ERX, we saw, a couple of drivers go end over end. We saw, Andreas Backerud, who, Elisa just had some words with. Andreas Backerud, as well as obviously Fraser McConnell, ended up in the water in Minnesota. But then Glenn Helen proved to be a lot of fun too as well, but contact overall. So that is Glenn Helen right there. That's our most recent race, and a gentleman who won that battle and overall competition was Fraser McConnell, and we're gonna have some words with him in just a little bit. The Gel Blaster best jumps. Speaking of blast, we're having a blast here as Coley is splitting off here. So these are the gel. Did you choose your weapon? There you go. Gel Blaster best jumps, and that's how we greet our guests here. If you have not had one of these things are absolutely awesome. There's your weapon. We were talking about Glenn Helen. Congratulations, dude. Unfortunately, you're here with me now.
Yeah.
That means you're not advancing on into the bracket battles. But I got to ask you out of the gate, what do you think of this course, man?
No, it's tricky. It's hard to pass, but it's fast and technical. And the drivers here, no one's slow. So
right.
It doesn't really matter who you pair up against. It really comes down to the start, and if it's a capable driver, which everyone is, it's gonna be hard to pass.
Don't go anywhere. Coley just split off, but he's gonna have some words with Travis Pastrana, who's still in it to win it. Coley?
So yeah, come down to see Travis. Travis, you versus Chris Meek. I know there's so much respect between you guys because you're rally legends, but also it seems like your two cars are magnetised towards each other, like UK, Sweden, and now here.
Without a doubt. Chris Meek is not only he's above whatever legend status is, and I love watching him drive. I just hate driving against him. We always seem to come together. He hit me so hard in the right turn, knocked my foot off the gas pedal, and then I came in and fully overshot. It was a little drier than I thought. Overshot, was backed it in, and I thought he was just going to kind of wait for me to mess up and go to the inside, and he helped straighten me up, and then he spun himself. I was like, thank you.
That was going to be my next question. I was going to say, without Chris, would it have come back? Because it was right on the...
No, I had no shot. I had two car lanes going in, and I overshot the corner. But it's just something about driving with Chris. I just need to settle down. It's like racing your hero. You want to do really well out there. And the track was, it was interesting because it's been perfect all weekend, and then they're trying to keep it nice and dry for, so they don't overwater. But the outside's kind of when they went from good traction, where I was kind of making some time, there's no traction there right now. So sorry, Chris. Didn't mean to bump into you, but it's also for him, learning the rallycross. It's not just about turning your fastest time. You see someone fully backing in where they're not going to turn around. I mean, maybe you were trying to straighten me out, and I appreciate that, buddy.
So I think you're up against Andreas Backerud next. How important is the start? Because what we've seen, Ollie Bennett actually made it through in that last one by managing to get around the outside in turn one, which maybe the grip's coming up a bit, but the start is so crucial. And this is the first time we've ever started in the FC1s on dirt. This is the only dirt start grid. How are you working it?
Yeah, you're about to see a lot more passing. There's Larson will figure out a way. Definitely, Snackaroo. There's no one more aggressive than, more aggressive in this comes across wrong, but Meek is all aggression. He's probably the fastest one here. He's definitely the best driver out of the crew, but he doesn't have a lot of that race experience. The racecraft, especially with Larson this season, has been absolutely top of his game. He's always in the right spot. He's always figuring out ways around. There's going to be back and forth this next two rounds. I hope to get to the final. Hopefully, I mean, Ollie's doing great, but if we can go Larson and I head to head, we're going to go back and forth every lap multiple times. So it's going to be awesome.
Now, of course, we're racing here on Friday to get this extra round, but actually today, away from the racing, is a very special day. It's Veterans Day today, and I know that's something which is extremely close to your heart. We've seen as well the brilliant thing you did this week with the final send, I think it was, wasn't it? There were some veterans in that as well. So tell me a bit about Veterans Day and how important it is.
No, I just want to thank everyone that helped fight or even be a part of our freedoms, that we get to do exactly what we do, what we love to do out here, having fun, driving cars, living the dream. Thank you all, and for me, it was really cool partnering up with Black Rifle and everything they do, just about giving back to the veteran community and just having a good time while we do it. We had 3 World War II vets out for the final send, and those guys were awesome. One of the guys jumped in my car. He's 98 years old. He's like, I'm Navy. I flew over. The stories they tell. I don't know how accurate they were, but I love listening to every bit of it, and it's been a cool experience for me to be a part of. Thank you for all the veterans. Thank you to everyone that's been out to help us do what we love to do.
Yeah, really well said. Thank you, Travis. And yeah, you can see the final send online. Go and have a Google for that, and you'll be able to meet those veterans at the end of that video as well. So, Jared, back to you, mate.
Thank you so much, Coley, and some great stories there. So, Fraser, we were sitting here just laughing and just kind of, it's great that you have that good spirit. And like I said, coming off that victory in Glen Helen, taking the trophy around Jamaica, that's got to feel good, man.
No, it was good, and I brought it around all the sponsors, and everywhere I walked with it, it was a talking point, and to show some love and tour it around Jamaica was a good feeling.
I love it, man. And you and your family and Uncle Saul, you guys are a great spirit here in the paddock, and everybody loves you. Regardless of the outcome. But I know, again, it being a doubleheader, are you excited about that? Are you nervous about that? More opportunity for more success, and obviously more opportunity for what could be devastating. I mean, every dog has their day.
Definitely looking at the brighter side of it, and the opportunity to get so many points is there for the taking right now. And we're very in the early stages of the race weekend, so I'm looking forward to grabbing those points and fighting later on today.
Awesome, brother.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. Up next is Group E semifinals. Who's going to come out on top? We will find out. But all I know is we're having a blast. Run, go, get out of here, Fraser. Oh gosh. All right, we'll be back with more Nitro Rallycross. Send it. Nitro Rallycross Group E semifinals are upon us. The open desert, but guess what? We have paved and curated one heck of a track. And here are the vehicles and the drivers that are in the semifinals. Pastrana finds his way going against Backerud, and then Robin Larson versus a surging Ollie Bennett here in the Smirnoff Ice Smash Nitro Rallycross Road to the Finish Line. This is all about the TQ. This is all about the bracket battle winner. But then again, tonight, we have an independent round, round 5. All thriller, no filler, baby. It's TGIF, TGI NRX. Thank goodness it's Nitro Rallycross.
Halfway through, aren't we? It's a mad day for the drivers. Conor Martell was saying last night about how it's adrenaline on, off, all day long, and that's absolutely exhausting. It really
I'm tired,
is.
and we're just the announcers.
Yes, true. That's true. This will be a good one, I hope.
I know it will be. You talk about Backerud, and Pastrana said it. Meek, a fast racer who you win against, but when it comes to racecraft, when it comes to passing, that's the words he had with you. He says, Backerud, Larson, they know how to pass. They're kind of teeing it up, and then they're going to go for the pass. So where are we going to land? TBD.
Travis with one last chat with his spotter. You saw him tightening his belts just a little bit as well. Andreas Backerud, little itchy itch, and we're good to go.
30 seconds to go for this semifinal Heat 1. Pastrana versus Backerud. Next up, Larson versus Bennett. There's the stats, there's the numbers, there's where they're currently sitting. Championship position, Andreas Backerud sitting in second. 6th for Travis Pastrana. A lot of racing to be done in the entirety of the season, and a lot of racing here in Arizona. Pastrana, let's see if he gets a hole shot. That seems and continuously seems to be the fastest side of that all dirt grid. Again, all dirt course. Previously, we have a paved start. You can see the race face is on for Pastrana and Backerud. NITRO, let's go. Send it for Pastrana and Backerud. A good start for both of them. Oh, and Backerud seems like he gets a little bit of a slingshot. No, he doesn't. Pastrana shuts the door on him. Backerud with that wide swing. You see him coming in aggressive. Pastrana, let's see what kind of speed he can carry. Taking that inside line now. See Backerud, look at him taking the higher line. He's going to try to dive in on Pastrana. See if that gains some ground. And you can see he gets right to the side of Pastrana, but he pushes back.
Yeah, Pastrana defending really well there. Up in turn 1, Travis allowed Backerud to get alongside, but he knew that he would then be inside for turn 2. You say Backerud went high-low and got alongside him again, and Travis just kind of squeezed him to the side of the road, so
I spoke to Travis just a few moments ago, didn't I? And he was like, yeah, there's going to be loads more passing coming up. So
yeah, he looked into his crystal ball and he says, yeah, there's going to be passing, especially Backrud and Larson.
He'll be hoping not now, though, won't he? Now that he's in the lead, now he's like, there will be no more passing today.
Yeah, he says, I look forward to more passing. Well, not right now.
No, and it was, yeah.
I'll tell you what, that Power Plus Vermont sports car vehicle, look how wide, look, he went high and low.
Deep, yeah.
You see it, but look at how much speed he's carrying into that A-Shock Energy gap jump. But Backrud is absolutely mirroring him. You can see him shadowing coming around the course. Here's the 199. We're riding shotgun with him. We're on the second lap of 3. The Yokohama Tire Joker lap is closed for business when it comes to the bracket battles.
Backrud's closer again, look, 0.5 of a second, shows himself in the mirrors. That's just a psychological thing, so you always want to show the driver behind that you're right there. To be honest with you, there's so little visibility when you're having it like this that you're unlikely to see in the mirror anyway, but it's also the spotters will be like, he's on your left, he's on your left. So you're constantly being told you're under pressure. Andreas is hoping Travis is going to make a mistake. See if he goes any tighter into turn 1 this time, because he was loose and wide in here last time, Jared, and look, really
tightened it up.
Yeah,
he threw his elbows out. He knew he can't give Backrud that kind of room. That's somebody you don't do it to. I mean, he's a Rallycross champion. He knows how to get it done. You know, maybe not so much here in Arizona, but I'll tell you, Travis really has something to prove, and right now he would love to get TQ. And we have not seen Travis grab TQ this year.
Just looking down, I don't think he's even made the finals, Jared. I'd have to have a closer look, but I don't think he's made the semis a few times, but he hasn't made it through to the finals. So
is Backrud making the move? You saw him go wide there. Now he's going to dive in. I don't know if there's enough course. Pastrana trying to keep it tidy as he throws gravel in the face of Backrud. One more turn, and Pastrana, as you said, could make the finals for the first time this season. We got a couple more hits, and Pastrana looks like he is going to the finals. Who he's going against, Larson or Bennett, is TBD. And there you have it, Pastrana and the Power Plus Vermont sports car vehicle is going to the finals, taking out the Snackaroo that is Andreas Backrud.
So it's here last year that Travis Pastrana took the TQ and then went on to win his heat race and win the final. It was his first ever Nitro Rallycross win alongside that TQ. So now in FC1, say he hasn't made it to this stage in the competition before, and Travis now will be really hungry for that top qualifier spot. This is his response to a not great weekend in Glen Helen. He knows now he's got to really fight back. There's still time, and this weekend there are so many points up for grabs. It being a double header, this would be a good way to start. But he's got one more race to win, and we don't know who that's going to be against just yet.
Yeah, we got Larson or Bennett, and that's somebody who Pastrana says you got to look out for. He knows how to pass. He is our current points leader, so Pastrana really putting it out there. This is the house that Pastrana built. Again, he made the proclamation in Minnesota, and he's trying to get back up there once again. He got the win at ERX, but Pastrana from start to finish seems like he's got it all worked out.
This was that wild send in on the one lap where he went up a bit high, and that just gave Backrud the chance to close up a little bit. You don't want to do that ideally. If you can get the gap out to 8, 9 tenths, it's almost comfortable. It doesn't sound like it, does it? But it is, because they're far enough back not to be able to make a wild lunge at you. So much roost, great to see.
Jeez.
Lovely track conditions today.
Yeah, the Yokohama tire is gripping up, so that's good. And you know, it's all about, like we say, keep it. Look at that. Look at how like you can see the blue groove on Larson's side as opposed to Bennett. You do have a little bit of a groove, but all right, let's see, Larson or Bennett. We're about to throw it down here in this other semifinal bracket battle. 30 seconds to start. Here we go. Again, Larson on your right-hand side. The DRR JC RX Cartel vehicle going against Ollie Bennett. And as you say, really hitting his stride. You know, the UK driver. You can see the stats. 9th in 2021 Extreme E Championship. And then, again, our current points leader, Robin Larson. He is out front. He's going to try to do that again. Unfortunately, his DRR JC teammate RX Cartel Backrud taken out by Pastrana, and Larson won a little bit of revenge going against TP. Here we go. We're getting ready to send it here for our final semifinal battle bracket.
Great reaction time from Bennett there, Jared, but Larson's got the better traction. Bennett going to try the move he did last time round the outside, and he's made it stick again. Can Larson now drag him on the exit, though?
Wow, look at Ollie Bennett. It seems like a different Ollie Bennett here in Arizona, and now he dives in on the inside. Ollie Bennett pushes out Robin Larson, our current points leader, but Larson comes back. He fights back for it. Look at Ollie Bennett. He slingshots his way. That's where Connor Martell and Larson got into it early. And Larson goes up on the A-Shock Energy gap.
Brilliant. Wow. So Bennett's put him under pressure. He's gone a bit deep, Jared, and he gets underneath him.
Wow, look at Robin Larson swinging wide, like he said, pressure. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
And Larson and Bennett, we get some shoving all across. Okay. This gets a little dicey here. Let's take a look. We're gonna run and roll the tape. But Larson comes out unscathed. Did he overcook it? Was it racing incident? Was it accident?
We need to see that again.
Yeah.
Hey, look, there was a car's width on the inside, definitely. What the stewards will question is, you know, would he have made the corner if he hadn't run into Bennett? I think he probably would. You know, maybe they'll go, look, Bennett's already run wide and therefore it's not Robin's fault. Maybe they'll say to Robin, you can't just fire him off into the wall. So I'm pretty confident this one will go for a chat with the stewards, but we'll see. I might have to eat my words on that. They might just go, you know what? Larson's getting it anyway.
All right, so there is a caution flag. So they're saying caution.
Still in the wall.
You know, it didn't seem like they were pinned. He went into the dirt, which was kind of collected there, into it. Hopefully the car is okay. You know, that's the other consideration, not only for today, but obviously the weekend. And it seemed like he hit it flush.
Yeah, I mean, the fact he's not moving would suggest that there is, you know, an issue with the car. Hopefully it won't be a major one. I think that the problem you got, Jared, is let's say they DQ Larson,
right,
and then they can't get Bennett's car fixed in time for the final. Then you're in a situation where Travis takes TQ by default. So we'll see. But it's at the minute, it's not showing that it's under investigation. So we'll see. Maybe they'll just say racing incident. The stewards have taken a slightly more relaxed attitude towards penalties, which I think we all would agree. There were a few calls last year where we would have liked to have seen the racing, you know, take part on the track, but then there were maybe one or two you're like, okay, you can't really let that slide. Toughest job in the house, without a shadow of a doubt, is being a steward. It's a no from me. Not one I want to do.
You're saying no.
No, I'm saying I don't want to be a steward. Oh. It looks like it sucks. Right. I mean, it's hard enough for us, isn't it? You know, we're here. I always think it's terrible. Two, I'm sure, very average drivers criticising some of the best drivers in the world, but that's kind of the job. You know, we've got to try and pick it apart. The
scrutinization.
Our opinion is just trying to make it lively for you guys. The opinion of the stewards has an outcome on what happens in the sporting side. So Larson takes the flag, but the contact is under investigation between car 42 and car 4. So will he go through or will he be DQ'd, and Bennett will take the place? See him for the first time in the final up against Travis Pastrana.
All right, they're pulling Ollie Bennett. You can see that right-hand side, that front right wheel. So there's the winner, but we're going to find out, as you say, under review, the contact between the 17 and the 4. The 42, excuse me. So again, 42 and 4. So right now we do know that Pastrana's in it. Larson currently is in it, but under review, the contact between Bennett and Larson. Larson, our points leader, the Swedish driver, going against the All-American Travis Pastrana, the Power Plus Vermont sports car, the 199. We'll see what the outcome is here. So, what are you saying? You're saying?
I'm saying the stewards have to decide.
all right. You're being very political. You're being very passe.
I'll be honest. I think it was quite a hard move. You know, it resulted in Bennett being in the wall, but Bennett was a car's width wide. We're going to take a look back now anyway. I mean, this is actually both of the semis. This was Pastrana getting to turn one ahead of Baccarat then got up the inside. Pastrana here allowed him up the inside, but he knew he was on the right, Jared. He knew he had the right line up into turn 2.
Yeah, like you said, you know, Pastrana got the TQ. He won here last year. That was supercars. This is a whole level of supercars that we call the FC1X, the all-electric, the debut here in the 22 into the 23 season. But Pastrana got the win, and this is the other side of it. So let's see what kind of contact we hear. Look at Ollie just sideways, but Robin takes a faster line. This is where they kind of fight back, you know, kind of a bit of a boxing match. Watch Ollie Bennett come on the inside.
Larson saw him, didn't he, Jared? You see him jink the steering left. He saw him coming. Then there's this bit down the bottom.
Okay, a little wide swing. Bennett kind of pushes back, but
Larson's run deep.
That was fine. That seemed fine. Larson kind of
This is it from the front angle, so watch them side by side. Watch for Larson. He's going to go deep on the brakes. He runs up the bank on the outside. All his wheels are locked up. Bennett up the inside. Lovely job. It's this next bit, which is that, and we're not going to see it. The only bit we wanted to see, we might have to see if we can find that. I think then we'll be able to, maybe we're going to take a look at it in a bit more detail. Perhaps we can get it off the drone, Jared. That's the other thing. A drone, the one thing I would say about the drone is it always gives the stewards a completely different angle to be able to look at it. So they'll be looking at that, and hopefully we'll be able to take a look at what happened as well.
All right, let's take a look here as we are seeing Travis Pastrana and Backerud. We're seeing the drone POV. Again, Justin Smash, you can see Backerud, then Pastrana takes that inside line over that A-Shock energy jump, and he defends his line properly. He knows who he's going against. You see him throw it out there with some attitude. Backerud tries to dive in, but Pastrana says, not today. This is my track, baby. All right, so going through that A-Shock energy gap, you see Pastrana, where he found that grip in between that gap, and Backerud fell back. That's where it was kind of all over for Backerud.
They've got so much power, Jared, that a lot of the time it's about managing. Do you just thrash and allow the tyres to dig in and just send up a ton of roots through? You're trying to feel the level of the grip and feather the throttle on the exit, as you can see there. Look at the way the cars Constantine are on the exit, and whereabouts is the grip on the track? Looking at just the start, you guys will be able to see that there's the one area that now starting to rubber in. It makes a big difference. Last year, in the end, it was full blue groove on the inside line there, and you had to be on the inside if you wanted to hold on to the position. But at the minute, the track's not in that stage, and I like it when it's like this, when the grip levels are random across the whole width of the track. Once you get a blue groove, it can be a little bit more a railway track.
You start to get in that curtain, that kind of cushion up there up top, and some of the dirt racers, find that cushion and go for it. You see that it's kind of sprint cars, but not. And then here is the incident between, this is Larson and Bennett. So you see Bennett out front, Larson chasing him down. Now coming into this corner,
he is locked up and wide. Bennett, Larson's 100% on the inside there. No,
there's nowhere for Larson to really go.
I think racing incident, Jared.
Larson couldn't go anywhere. He was up on the berm.
He was also 100% inside him, and you could see a locked wheel on the front right from Bennett as he came in. So maybe he'd just gone a little bit late. He ran a little bit deep. Larson took advantage of it, but the stewards will decide, not us.
Now, a tough break there. You lost to Travis in that round. You were talking about his speed. What is so definitive about that?
I mean, first of all, I'm a competitive guy. I hate losing. But I'm going to give it to Travis because he's flying out there. I think still we had similar speed, kind of, but he did great at using his push to pass at the right moments. And he gapped me, I got closer, he gapped me, I got closer. And at the end there, I gave him a little love touch to just tell him, I'm here, just make a mistake. He didn't. He kept his head cool. So, yeah, good work by Travis.
You have talked a lot about how this is Travis' car. You talked about this is Travis's home field. What about him makes him so hard to beat?
I mean, we're America, and this is his playground, all the jump, all the dirt, put together somewhere around Phoenix called Wild Horse Pass, and he have a finger everywhere. He know the track guys, and he makes awesome tracks, and I think this is like his child championship, so he's extremely good here. When the conditions are changing, he's adapting quickly, and he understands, and he smells when the dirt is changing, comes from dirt, motor racing background and dirt bikes, I think it's just a great athlete.
Yeah, no, we just got word that Larson has actually been excluded, and Bennett actually ended up winning that.
So Bennett's in the final, and okay, yeah, I didn't know. I heard there was a bit tight there into turn 6-7 there going out from the track. Nothing I could do with that, so yeah.
That's a break there. Thank you so much for your time.
Well, here we are. We are in the Yokohama Tire pits, and I seem to have found a big...
I was getting all kinds of messages popping up on me on the screen. I didn't know what they meant, so just I don't know. I don't know anything about electric cars, so hopefully it's all right.
Well, speaking of that, what has been the biggest difference between the cars you're used to driving and the electric cars you're driving?
like I said a second ago, I think just them being all-wheel drive is probably the most the biggest departure from anything that we typically do. Everything we have is all rear-wheel drive, right? So it just gives the car a certain sensation that an all-wheel drive car doesn't necessarily have. These things make a lot of traction, and they do some funky things from just the steering inputs and things of that nature. So yeah, I think that's probably the biggest difference. Certainly it being electric is different, but I think you get used to that. The all-wheel drive versus rear-wheel drive vehicle, that's the biggest change for me.
All right, Chase, well, best of luck in the semifinals. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Sun setting here in Phoenix. Just great to hear from Chase Elliott. He's actually going to be in the same semi-final as this man, Ollie Bennett, and the team are rushing, or they were rushing. Looks like they might be finished just in time for us to have a look. So what happened there, mate? In turn one, it all went wrong.
Yeah, turn one went wrong. I think someone had a great start from the back. I think it was Ericsson, just shot through the middle, bit of commotion. It happened so fast, I don't know, but I broke a rear toe link. As I came out of the dust, the car was, had to go on the side of the track. So unfortunately for me, that put an end to my qualifier, but we're ready for the semi.
So you're going to be at the back of the semi, I think, aren't you? So you've got some work to do after a great qualifying. You've had a great step up in pace. You must be feeling pretty stoked despite the problems in the racing now.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm getting faster every race now, and the rest are not. So I think, if this keeps going, we're fine. So yeah, I mean, I'm at the back, but I like to fight. I've made some good passes here already this weekend, so hopefully we can put on a show and get to the front.
Well, at the minute, you're the My Energy pass of the day, but we need to wait and see. There's a lot more racing to come. Talking to My Energy, I wanted to come outside and have a look at this. So, Ollie, all this extra pace, I wonder if it might be to do with these big things behind us. 2 dirty great batteries. Is this allowed? Is this cheating? What are they for?
So we're actually charging 5 other cars, but these are batteries storing energy. We take that energy and put them into our cars. So it's part of the paddock and part of the charging system. But yeah, no cheating, just lots of energy.
All right, well, we're wishing you the very best of luck in the semi, mate. And is the car ready? Let's have a quick look inside. Well, yeah, it's looking pretty good to me. They just need to put the wheels back on it. It's good to go.
Oh, what a beautiful... I mean, would you rather be here or up in that hot air balloon, Coley? I mean, let's be honest.
Hot air balloons freak me out. So.
Okay, that's fair. You're going to be here.
Being honest about
we
it.
are here, and Arizona sunsets are really unrivaled. But the sun is not setting for this gentleman. This is the house that TP built, man. I mean, he did it last year. He went TQ. There he is on pole, and he's joining us right now. He's going to be next to Kevin Eriksson, who got that whole shot from the second row. Couple, kind of blows exchanged there in front of him, but Kevin Eriksson come out on top. Travis joining us here in the booth, and this is a welcome experience. Unlike Glenn Helen, like I said, you joined us, but now here you are in a favorable position. You're loving this track. It seems like you got a smile on your face. I gotta say it, man. I gotta call you out. Meek called you T-Bone Pastrana now.
I think most of the people, most of the drivers, most of my competitors think, pretty respectable racer. Like I'm aggressive, but not like overly aggressive. Same thing when at the end of the day, I always find Meek. He's like my hero. I feel like Meek is the Michael Rocco of my motocross racing days. I always was into him. Like I overshot that corner. Right. I was done. And Chris, being an amazing driver, basically. Oh, here we go. We got the race coming up. Sorry.
No, it's good. Finish your thought, Travis, after this, but into the action, here we go. So this is what we're looking at as far as semifinals, but Travis, happy to see you here. You're gonna give us some great insight because looks like we got some moisture on track, and as you said, when it's wet, you have multiple options, as opposed to when it's dry, that inside line, which you took, is a lot stickier.
So this blue groove is going to be very, very slick. The outsides are going to come in. None of the drivers have been using the outside lanes. When that fluff and that cushion gets kind of wet, it actually gets really good, but everyone's been just shoving it into the inside. I think the passing is going to be great. Larson, obviously very, very good at making good moves. Here we go, off the start.
So Larson with a great start on the inside line from the back row, an absolutely epic start. That must be Ollie Bennett, I think. Is he this? Yeah, Ollie Bennett. Chase Elliott's dropped off the back of the pack immediately. Larson leads over the jump. Eriksson in behind, and they look like a pass up the inside. Is it Cindric who's on the inside line as they head up towards the head of the top? Gets into the door.
Just straight doored him.
He is Gel Blaster. He's putting the Gel Blaster to the door. So Robin Larson up front, and there's Austin Cindric, that accelerated A-Shock vehicle. He pulled off to the side, so unfortunately he's going to retire. The positions here are 1 and 2. That's going to force them to go either second row or third row, depending on where they land.
Ericsson's gone Joker straight away. Austin Cindric follows him in. We know you've got to be so close behind. The difference is just a few tenths of a second, between half a second and a second. Go on, Travis.
Austin, phenomenal driver, but he breaks for the jumps. He looks down at his speedometer and figures out how to go over him. As soon as he figures this out, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Chase Elliott was doing the same thing. As you see him come in here, Larson with the lead. It is very slick, but everyone is forcing themselves to the inside. I really think this track's going to start coming alive.
Ericsson's done a good thing there, getting the Joker in nice and early. He's held on to P2. Now, he might get Larson, but either way, and in this position, he's going to go through to the final. He won't want to be on row 3, Jared. He'll want to get up to row 2. If he can, he's going to have to make a pass to do that.
Every row is huge, although that third row, Kevin Eriksson, he got shot out of a cannon in that second row. Like, I mean, Ollie, he's having the race of his career, and all of a sudden, someone just comes completely unexpected.
All right, Robin Larson still throws up that gravel machine gun in the face of Ollie Eriksson. Ollie Bennett, who had some bad luck earlier as well. And like you said, Austin Cindric seems like he brakes, then turns in. He needs to keep that nice fluid line, and I think that will favor him a lot better. So Robin Larson, look at that, quickest lap so far. 4 laps. We are lap 3 of 4, so halfway through.
Ollie's coming in hot, wasn't he? Backwards in the background.
I'm curious what happened to Chase. Chase has been driving better and better. He overshot one of the jumps in practice. He's like, man, that hurt. I'm like, yeah, if you overshoot a corner, it's going to hurt too. Like, you got to hit the backsides of these jumps. So the NASCAR guys looking at the speedometer, it just takes that little tenth of a second here, tenth of a second there.
Got to do it on feel rather than looking down, I guess.
Yep. So here we go. We got Larson taking the Joker right now. Joker has been about a second faster, so I'd imagine he would come out on top. But this is a very tricky corner. If you go to block the inside there, you can't get off of the corner very well. If you go wide, people can jump right underneath, and it's pretty blue groove. So you never know what you're going to get.
All right, here we go. Robin Larson. He holds that lead. Can he hold on to it as Ollie Eriksson drops in on the zipper? No, he does not. So Robin Larson holds on to the lead.
Yeah, Ollie did really well. Usually you drop about a second there, but it looks like Larson was taking it kind of easy. Almost kind of gave it up there when he came back in.
Seems like loose is fast, quoting the famous movie, obviously, but loose is fast. And we were talking with Meek earlier, and Ollie's saying, hey, I wasn't pushing too hard, and that seemed to be faster for him, and that seems to be the trend of what you're speaking about there, Travis. Like, just don't overdrive. Let the car kind of do what it's going to do.
Yeah, like coming into here, you see, once you get out, if the outside cushion is dry, there's no traction. If the outside cushion is wet, there's a lot of traction. So you're seeing kind of the motocross guys and the guys that have had a little more dirt experience really figuring out how to use these tracks. Larson, even Ollie was doing a phenomenal job of finding that grip and making those passes.
Larson going to take the checker flag on this one. He goes through to row 2. Ollie Eriksson to P2 here. That's row 3. Ollie Bennett misses out again. So Bennett, who did so well in qualifying against Travis, unfortunately rolled out of his heat and he's ended up on the back row. He's now going to have to go to the LCQ.
And as well, the 2 NASCAR drivers, Austin Cindric and Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott retired earlier. Austin Cindric, who got aggressive, but once he figures that out, like Travis said, he is definitely a force to be reckoned with. But that Gel Blasters Dixon vehicle will be going to the LCQ. Ollie Bennett, him as well. But Larson and Eriksson, row 2 and 3 in the finals here under the lights for the first time ever. And there we have it, Robin Larson out front, Ollie Eriksson against row 2, row 3, Ollie Bennett, Cindric, and Elliott forced to go to the LCQ, the last chance qualifier. Remember, only 8 spots, 11 cars, 3 are going to be crying from the stands.
One of the coolest parts about this track is that as that sun goes down and the wind's dying down, they're going to be able to keep a lot more moisture in there. So as we relook at this start, that second row has really been paying off. These guys, look at Cindric coming up the outside. He does phenomenal here, but just watch when he comes around here. He's going to get a good run, and then he's going to look at the speedometer. And he didn't drop that much. I think he just followed him off there. Really difficult to kind of get in here. He just locks it up. He needed to put it sideways, but it almost worked out for him.
Got to feel a bit for Bennett after that performance earlier on today. The pace is definitely there, but you don't want to lose your enthusiasm getting caught up in the pack. Going to be quite a tough ask, isn't it, in the LCQ, I think, as well.
Larson has been such a phenomenal driver all year round. Aggressive, but kind of patient and really articulate where he's making the passes. Unfortunately, there we go.
Well done there by Robin Larson. He is on row 2 in the finals. All right, Travis,
I
you're
can't quit.
No, you don't quit. You're great. We're beating
back
him
and
up
drive.
here. You know what? Stick to driving. It's okay. I mean, you've learned a lot up here in the commentary booth. You know, between UK and Sweden, Glen Helen,
Hey, come
Minnesota.
on now.
You spent a lot of time up here, Travis. Too much. We're all joking here because obviously when he's up here, it means that he's kind of got knocked out. But
No, I'm actually a qualified P1.
I know, and that's
finally
why I
did it,
said,
guys.
contrary to
It's a
popular
good
belief,
story.
you're here on a good measure because you qualified early. The doubleheader, attrition, you got to keep your car together tonight into tomorrow into Sunday. It's a doubleheader, first time under the lights.
You know, without a doubt, and I think this track's really going to come into its own. It's really cool that we have a doubleheader. When we actually showed up, I didn't know Phoenix got a lot of rain, but there was a pond on the infield. So you'll see there's some holes that kind of get dug out. You know, tonight they're going to be able to keep the track very good. A little bit of moisture, that outside, all these lines, all of a sudden it's going to start coming into its own. You're seeing the guys like, you know, Oliver Bennett really showing off for kind of the first time. Or, you know, last round he did good, but he's getting better and better. But he's using those outsides, he's using the fluff. Everyone else is going for these racing lines. And at the end of the day, this track, like, you know, as Chris Meek has found out, like, I'm just blocking the inside. And when I didn't, I got all out of shape. Yeah, so Chris and I have been coming together every single round. He's one of my heroes. He's like probably I'm going to say he's the best driver here because he's like literally, I love Chris Meek. I think it's so cool that he's in our series. But the racing, the racing craft, like the last race, I kind of gave it a little brake check because he had a good run. And he's like, what was that? I was like, well, I didn't want you to pass me.
Exactly. I mean, you threw the elbows out. And we saw that, you know, Robin Larson got pinched out. So, again, racing incidents do happen. And sometimes it's bad
Larson
luck and
didn't, but he didn't get pinched out.
I know. But you do owe Meek a beer. Well, it seemed like Ollie Bennett was taking that line and then he got forced in. But we'll be, again, don't go anywhere, Travis. Stick around. There is Robin Larson, so he can crank a monster and chill out for just a little bit before the finals. Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm in awe of this beauty. Oh, and also the sunset. Hey, Travis, how's it going? Travis Pastrana joining us back in the booth, and here we are on the other side of our semifinal bracket. 4 racers, the 2 advance into the finals. The other 2 forced to go to the LCQ with Ollie Bennett, Chase Elliott, and Austin Cindric already in. We're talking about Travis, we're talking about Kevin, we're talking about Robin, we're talking about Ollie, but which of these 2 are going to move on? Now here we are, 30 seconds to go, Travis. Put your money on.
Absolutely stacked heat. I'm hoping that Chris Meek gets through just because we've been making so much contact all week. But if he does, I'm in big trouble in turn 1 for the final. So Fraz, you know, he's been doing phenomenal one last weekend. Andreas Backerud has been awesome. And then Connor Martell was faster than all these guys in qualifying. So we'll see.
Here we go then, inside line for Meek. If he can get away well, he can keep the door shut. We've seen him do that earlier on today. Fraser McConnell's going to try and make that tough for him. Can Martell blast through the middle like we saw Ericsson do earlier on, or come back and take a sneaky look up the inside? We're about to find out.
Send it. Second row usually comes off pretty good. Look at
Martell, straight through the middle. Absolutely fantastic. Meek on the inside line. McConnell goes up the inside now of Martell. Martell runs a little bit wide. Meek pushes him out wide.
Meek's tired of taking it today. He's like, I'm going. I am getting the lead right here. Side by side over the big jump. Huge step up. Look at this track coming into its own.
I was just about to say, how good does this look under the lights? I mean, we don't even need to say anything. It looks amazing.
Here we go.
Chris Meek backing it in, proper rally style, just sends it in. Look at the distance he's made on the exit 2, beautifully done on the way in there.
Meek has been absolutely phenomenal this whole weekend. So Martell trying to go the Joker right here. The Joker's about a second quicker. He's going to have to come out in second if he wants any chance of having going to the final out of this.
I mean, this thing is transforming. You gotta love the backdrop here, but like you said, Meek, and I have never said this, Andreas Backerud in the back of the pack.
Well, this is a stacked heat. I mean, everybody out here is absolutely amazing. Oh, Martell coming in hot.
Fraz comes in hot.
So I think Fraz made a good decision not to joker on lap 1 because Chris has gone in already. Yeah, Fraser knows the only way to get past him is to be right on his tailgate. So watch for Fraz now trying to get to the back of Meek. If he gets there, and I mean right on the back, that's when he'll joker and try and overlap him. But he's got to be close.
Right now.
Yeah, he's pretty close, Travis. You think close enough, though? It's half a second to a second is the delta. Is he going to go? Watch for Fraser McConnell. No, he doesn't. And I don't think he's close enough. I think he'll wait until he's right there.
Well,
but he's got to get there
He's
first.
got Connor Martell all over him. This is going to give Chris Meek a little bit of chance to get out. Meek is not going to look back. I tell you, this guy is a phenomenal driver. He's excited to be on dirt, and he is definitely looking to get a win here.
He says you owe him a beer, too, after
I owe him more than a beer, but I tell you He put me back straight after I was going to crash, but thank you for helping.
So look at Fraser McConnell. He's taking that tighter line, and you're talking about this, Travis. So you're seeing just so many different options, so many different variables. But here's the Yokohama Tire Joker predictor. Is he going to gain a position? He's saying no. He's going to stay in that position. And with Connor,
if he would have taken it that time, I think he would have had a Connor trying the outside line, trying to make that work. Looking pretty good at the end of the day, but he's close enough now.
I was going to say he's dumped Connor. He's dumped Connor. He's a little bit nearer to Meek, so he has to go this time. He can't Joker on the last lap. Fraser McConnell going to split off to the left-hand side.
This is going to be close, guys.
I don't know if he's going to even hold on to that second position. Connor Martell was right there on the back end of his hot hatchback. Here we go. Again, Meek not looking back, as you said, Travis. Here we go, Coley. Is Fraz going to get the number 2 position coming out of the Yokohama Tire Joker line? Meek definitely is going to get the win, but second place position, Martell or Fraser McConnell? Who's going to get it? Again, 1 and 2 advance on into the finals. The others go to the LCQ. Here goes Fraser McConnell. Connor Martell inside of him. It looks like Fraser McConnell holds off Martell.
What's he going inside? Go outside, launch it. He's got it. High-low right here. If he can get this car turned on the outside, he's going to dive bomb the inside right here coming to the corner. Did not get the exit I was hoping.
Blue Groove coming in up at the hairpin there as well. There's definitely a bit more grip. Martell is trying really hard here. Very similar driving style to Chris Meek out front, backing it in everywhere, lighting it up. Meek put the car on the nose on one of the jumps, so maybe he's just getting a bit nervous.
Puncture landing sideways. Just these guys are going. This is the main event just in the semi for him.
Exactly.
Oh, Martell has another look at Fraser McConnell coming under enormous pressure here. The top 2 are going to go through. Chris Meek about to jump back in under the lights into the arena in Phoenix. Meek will go through to row number 2. McConnell goes through to row number 3.
That makes my first turn so much harder. Look at that. Back route. I mean, look, an amazing, he's, in championship hunt, won a round this year, and 4th in the semi. Just this heat was so stacked.
I went to ask earlier, sorry Jared, when you chose between the 2 heat races earlier, why did you choose the second one? Because there were less cars, or was it about the drivers that were in there with you?
Honestly, Larson has been on his game. He's proved that why he's leading the championship. He's driving like a champion. He's been making great decisions, except for maybe earlier today. But I would have liked to have gone the battle bracket with him, but at the end of the day, I want to make sure that I got through in the first heat.
Congratulations to Chris Meek. He is on that second row as Fraser McConnell is on the 3rd row. Guess what? Connor Martell, Andreas Backrud going to the LCQ with Chase Elliott, Austin Cindric, and Ollie Bennett. 5 races in the LCQ and only 2 advance. That's crazy.
The LCQ is stacked.
I was about to say that.
2 out of those names? You got to be kidding me.
And especially when Bennett was P2 in qualifying earlier on.
He was pretty much P1.
Going to be wild.
Here we are taking a look at it. Look at Connor Martell diving in. That's what Kevin Eriksson did. I'm thinking the second row is untainted. That's why Kevin Eriksson and Martell got that whole shot, bumping up to the front. But Meek was all the way out front.
Yeah, I don't know that the first row is the place to be in the main event. And as you see, when the sun goes down, the outside's really going to start coming in. Connor couldn't quite get it working now, but it's going to groove in. It's going to be absolutely epic main event. And the LCQ is going to be fantastic as well.
Coley's over here just admiring the sunset, just, admiring the sunset, the high flying. I mean, our first ever Nitro Rallycross race at night. But I'll tell you what, Meek, dude, both Fraz and Connor got intimate with those tire stacks, and they're unforgiving. I think they got pretty lucky that they didn't get bitten off worse hitting those tire stacks on the corners.
So these cars have so much power, and it's about just hitting those apexes and getting that drive out of the corners. You see Connor just getting a little wide in some of those spots, but if you want to get a fast exit, you have to be right on those tires and inside of where everyone else is.
I want more racing on the floodlights, I'm just saying. More racing on the floodlights. Look how rad it is. It just looks so
American.
Floodlights.
I know.
It's Veterans Day, man. Come on.
Thank you. That's what I say. I don't speak the Queen's language.
What are we saying?
I don't speak the Queen's language. All right.
To English.
But look at that. Look at that view right there. It's amazing. And the racing is absolutely fantastic. Love these cars. Honestly, so much power. So fun to drive.
And here is our guaranteed rate Nitro Rallycross road to the finish line. Our man TP here on pole. Kevin Eriksson on that front row. Second row, Larson and Meek. And finally, third row, Eriksson and McConnell. Who's going to join them out of those other 5 racers? Nitro Rallycross brought to you by Gel Blaster. Let's take this outside. O'Reilly Auto Parts, professional parts people. And Yokohama Tire. Make every drive a performance.
Cindric, obviously not the result that you wanted, but you do have one more chance to make it, or the LCQ. Are there any changes you want to make into your strategy for that?
Oh, I think being faster is probably the best strategy. That's always the case in rallycross. It's certainly a contact sport, no matter which way you put it, and hopefully we can make it out for the LCQ. The guys unfortunately have some work to do fixing the left rear after contact going into the under. So yeah, it's the way it goes. It's racing, rallycross, like I said, contact sport, but it's awesome to be here, awesome to kind of experience this. Learning a lot about jumping, probably more than I ever thought I was going to do, and certainly in this weekend, probably more jumps than corners. So like I said, got some work to do, but it's been fun, starting to pick up the pace, starting to do things on purpose. But yeah, thanks Gel Blasters, Dixon, Omacy, all the guys that made this possible for me to come and hang out and try rallycross again.
Now, trying this out, what's been the biggest difference with the FC electric car with the cars you're used to driving?
The cars I'm used to driving, pretty much everything, but from the rallycross cars I've driven in the past, whether it's the RX Next or whatever else it may be, the supercars in the past, the cars fly a lot different. That's the biggest thing. Obviously, the electric powertrain's different than anything I've raced before. The instant torque, four-wheel drive, I mean, that stuff is what makes this car special. It's what, honestly, for me, even watching some of the other heats and battles, sitting in the grandstands and being able to have a conversation with the person next to you while watching a race, it's a different fan experience, and I think that's exciting, and I think there's a place for rallycross and motorsports, absolutely, and I think electrification suits the format really well.
Is there anything you're going to learn from this track to take with you to the next race?
My next race is the Daytona 500, so I don't plan on flying at all. Not saying it can't happen, but yeah, probably just a fun off season, get out, and hopefully by the end of the weekend we can have some pace.
Sounds good. Appreciate your time, Cindric.
Great attitude there from Austin Cindric. He's here for all the right reasons. He's having fun. 22 NASCAR Rookie of the Year, Daytona 500. He's going to work on his car, Earl. Do you know what Earl is?
No.
It's a Volvo station wagon.
Sweet.
So he used to hang out. You saw those photos earlier of him and a young Ollie Erickson so many moons ago. Just fresh-faced kid, and now here he is. I don't want to call him a veteran because he's 2022 Rookie of the Year, but he's out here for the right reasons. He's going to work on Earl in the off season. He's going to have some downtime. He said the next race, Daytona 500, which he is the winner of in 2022. But, you know, there's so many different components when it comes to racing. You know, Austin jumps in here, he's jumping in the vehicle, Chase Elliott. But you know what? They're the stars of the cars, but there's so many other components, and we like to take a deeper dive into that. So let's go deeper into the team with Fraser McConnell, our most recent winner from Glen Helen.
What's up everybody, Fraser McConnell here, and we are at Wild Horse Pass for round 5 of Nitro Rallycross. Now, I'm always quite confident when the pace is good. You know, Glen Helen was another weekend where we've had good pace in practice, but you know, it's very easy to get complacent, and that's one thing we didn't do. We're always confident, but you know, never satisfied until the end of the final. It's all about driving smart. If you're not going to be able to win with a broken car, and you're not going to be able to go fast with a broken car either. So, you know, making sure the package stayed together in one piece, try to be as fast as you can with having that reservation in mind. The battle with me and Ollie was an amazing race. You know, it was one of the more fun battles I've had in my Nitro career so far. I would say the toughest race was the final. You know, everyone had on new tires, the track was freshly prepped. You know, everyone was super fast. The top 6 in the final finished within 3 seconds, so that just goes to show how close everyone was the whole weekend. The start is always important for any race. A lot of the races are determined from the start, so it's super key to have a good starting position and then also take advantage of that and, you know, make a good start from it. Robin went into the Joker quite early, and my engineer was telling me that we needed more. You know, we managed to get the fastest lap of the weekend on lap 5 when we really needed it, and you know, as you can see with the Joker merge, there wasn't much room for anything else to fit, so left everything out on the track, and you know, it was enough. My family and friends are the most supportive parents and friends in the world. You know, I'm so grateful to have them on board with this. Yeah, it was a nice celebration. Gonna work so we can try to get some more of those. You know, after the winning Glen Helen, it's so nice that you can really carry that momentum over, because it's only a week and a half in between these 2 races, and it is a double header, so it's a lot of points up for grabs. And you know, I did enjoy driving here last year, so I'm gonna try and make some good use of the points.
Do you know how to spell? How do you spell? I don't know. Onomatopoeia.
Let's not do colour or tyre because the English and the American versions are different.
Yeah.
You know where this is going to go.
Aluminium. You know what? I'm actually a good speller. I won my 2nd grade spelling bee. I'm gonna dote on that. But our man Street Bike Tommy, he's been. Are you gonna give us our man Street Bike Tommy? Look, those that can't do teach. Those that can't teach announce. Here we are.
Yeah.
So our man Street Bike Tommy actually threw out some challenges to some of the racers. Some of them don't even know what words they are. But Tommy, go ahead.
I'm joined by Connor Martell, and today we're trying to see how smart drivers are. And the intelligence test that I've come up with is a spelling bee. I'm testing the IQ of drivers. Are you ready for this?
No.
Number 1 is aardvark.
Aardvark?
Yeah.
What's that?
It's an animal.
Aardvark.
Okay,
A-R-D-V-A-R-K.
Triceratops.
What?
T-R-Y-S-A.
Triverosaurus?
There's some trick letter in here. Hold on.
You're way off already.
Am I?
We're gonna skip that one.
Yeah.
All right, the last one.
Do like home or bicycle?
Car.
C-A-R.
Yes.
I just did this whole interview on how there's no passing. I'm like, dude, if I can make it to the final with Larson, he's just so smart. He's
exuberant.
Dude. And then he just sent a stage dive.
You're ruining my spelling bee.
Oh, is it spelling bee? I'm sorry. How's it spell?
I'm gonna come up with some Norwegian words. I'm gonna come back. Triceratops.
T-R-I-C-E-R-A-T-O-P-S.
I'm trying to make this fair with Norwegian words. How I can't have a spelling contest when I can't say it. Exuberance.
You are a very exuberant person. I used it in a sentence. See, guys.
Unnskyld meg. Excuse me. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Stop. Stop. All right, you got that one wrong. Well, these words didn't go as I thought, and my spelling bee was not as cool as I thought because apparently it's the majority of the drivers in the paddock's 2nd language, English. So next time I'll come up with a better contest. I don't know. Varsågod. Varsågod. Unnskyld meg. Hello. Hello.
My favourite bit was that Travis has gone over and joined me, and he thinks that Robin's talking about the DQ.
No,
it's a
spelling bee.
And genuinely that was real because I saw them doing it. Brilliant.
Yeah.
So good.
Oh, that's funny. All right, so this is some Semi-2 action here. We're talking about it, and the sun is officially setting. The lights are on, and that's what we're talking about. You know, that was we see Austin in there. We see Chase Elliott in the mix, but the Olsberg's Dixon vehicle. There's Robin Larson, who's coming in the mix. Again, Travis was just so excitable just being up here. He's just psyched on how stacked the driving list is.
It is. That's the thing, and I think that maybe some of our drivers you might have gone before, they won't be a threat. Right. Now they are. You know, okay, let's just be honest. Ollie Bennett maybe wasn't on the pace before. Today he was 2nd in qualifying. So you look at that list and go, well, Ollie beat everybody on the list, and yet he's up against 2 NASCAR, as you would say, veterans, young veterans, and you know, it's the LCQ is stacked. So 3 very good drivers are not going to make the cut.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one, and we're talking about, you know, having those words there with Austin Cindric, having fun, but they still are competitors. And, you know, overall, like you said, Ollie Bennett, Austin Cindric, Chase Elliott, Connor Martell, Andreas Baccaru. That's, I mean, those names in itself, 5, but only 2 are advancing in the LCQ.
Look at that. The backdrop's stunning. Then Martell using every single inch of the road, riding up the berm on the. Look at that in the background. Just epic. And probably now the visibility is better for the drivers than it was when the sun was setting. It was just going down behind the mountains. The dust was up. It was hard for them to see. Still a couple of races to come under the lights. Absolutely loving it. What a brilliant venue. Great track. More to come. Can't wait.
So we're down at OMSC. There's people ducking under the camera and running around grabbing tools and things. Come back through, mate. Come back through. There we go. So Austin Cindric's car is behind us and he's good to go. Chase Elliott's car is not quite ready. We're right in the way. So I'm going to see if I can find out what's going on. Come this way. Let's go and talk to Andreas Eriksson. Here he is, over here. Andreas, what's going on? Obviously, you're doing a lot of work here on Chase Elliott's car. Is it going to be ready for the LCQ?
Yeah, we hope so. But we had a motor that was a sensor fail, so he only ran on 3 motors, and that was the problem. So we wanted to give him a fair chance. So the last heat was out. But it's hard, you know. We need to do the semi-start to get in, so we got a little low on time. But it looks good. We'll see. We hope we can make a miracle happen here, and hope it goes well.
All right, well, we'll get out of your way and leave you to it. Good luck with that. So what Andreas is saying there with taking the start of the semi, if you don't start the semi, you can't mind your feet here on the tyres. If you don't start the semi-final, you can't start the LCQ. So he's gone to start the semi with a car that they knew wasn't performing. That's given them a little bit less time to get it fixed and head on out. Now, Elisa is here with us. Elisa, so good to see you. Welcome to the Nitro Rallycross team. I hope it's your first motorsport event.
It is.
Have you had a good day?
Oh my gosh, it's been nothing but excitement the entire time. The jumping, the racing, the constant pits that the cars have been coming in to get all this stuff changed out. It's definitely a whirlwind of experiences.
And you haven't got run over by an electric car, so that's a good start as well.
Yeah.
They're super quiet, aren't they?
Oh my gosh, I don't even know they're behind me until they're literally right behind me. So that's one of the more interesting things, to see how strong and how powerful they are and how quiet they are.
Yeah, no, they're amazing. So they're working so hard here, going to try and get the car of Chase Elliott ready for the LCQ. Yeah. Here's Austin Cindric. Austin, you're ready for the LCQ. What's the plan?
Plans to finish in the top 2 or bust. That's pretty much everybody's plan for this deal. I think I got a front row start and send it, I guess.
I was hoping he was going to say send it. Good luck, mate. Okay, well, sure, let's go. We'll have a wander. We're going to go this way. So, the sun has properly set. It is dark now. And
yes.
How much has the temperature changed? I'm freezing.
I mean, it's gone down, but the sunset was nice, so I gotta say it's a little worth it. But I'm interested to see how the drivers do, because as you guys have mentioned on the show, it is the first rallycross race that have been under the lights with the sunset going down. So I'm interested to see how that lighting and how that kind of changes for them on these next couple laps.
Yeah, I think it was, to me, it looked like they had better vision when the sun had gone down. When the sun was low and the dust was around, it was really hard to see. So now it seems to be a little bit better. Let's go on in here.
Let's go check in.
So this is Excite Energy Racing. They're looking pretty chilled. Where is Ollie Bennett? Here he is.
Ollie is over there.
So you're sort of half dressed. You're getting ready for the LCQ. Not where you were hoping to be when you finished second in qualifying earlier today.
No, I mean, I've got a disqualification in this one, although we've watched the in-car. I was in front. In no time was he in front of me. He was to my side door. I took the racing line. He just ran out of room and didn't brake. So I'm a little bit, I won't swear, annoyed at the minute. We're trying to appeal it, but it's maybe looking too late. So yeah, it's really not great.
What is something that you can kind of change your strategy as you go into this last round?
Don't know, it looks like it's down to the judicials, so yeah, I don't know. I'll just race, stay out of the way and put some laps in.
What did you even do? I didn't see it.
Nothing, I came down off the step down, he came here, because I passed him on this turn, and then as I turned in, he was there, he ran out of room, should have braked, went into me, and then apparently that's my fault.
And who was he?
Cindric.
Okay, there we go. Good luck, mate. So Cindric's actually going to be in the LCQ with Ollie, so we might see some fireworks there. Were you expecting it to be? I mean, they get quite emotional, the drivers. Like earlier on, yeah, he fired me off and he put me in the wall. Like, how have you found that?
I mean, it's nice to see the competition being high, because that's what you want to see, especially in rallycross sports. In any sport, really, you want to see the passion from these guys so that they can go ahead and get their best effort on there. Because, you know, he had a really good round against Travis, and then you kind of want to see that carry over and see if he can pull it off here in the LCQ.
Okay, well, I want to get you a passenger ride in one of these cars at some point. I really do.
That would be a lot of fun.
All right, I don't know how you get on. We're going to head this way. We're going to head up to the box.
You know, I like to think I'd have a straight face as we're kind of flying, but, you know, I don't know.
You won't. I promise you won't. I've ridden quite a lot of rallycross cars and I still don't have a straight face, but it's an awesome experience. You know, it's all smiles.
A lot of the guys have so much fun out there. I asked them, like, how much fun are you guys having? I asked the 2 guest NASCAR drivers that were here, like, what's the biggest difference? They're like, I'm surprised how strong these cars are.
Yeah.
And they're like, and it's just a lot of fun.
No, they're just absolutely awesome. Travis is here signing some autographs. Let's go and interrupt him as well, shall we?
Let's go. Well, hello, Travis.
Hello. How's it going?
It's going awesome. Under the lights. Really excited to see how this track comes in.
So you're on pole for the final. You know, we've got the LCQ going on. 5 very talented drivers in the LCQ. It's stacked.
The LCQ is absolutely, well, this whole field's stacked. Everybody in the entire field is within 6/10. Top 6 last round was within, 3.2 seconds. Connor Martell, he's been super quick this whole time, and, he's driving really well. It's going to be interesting to see how they all do.
Take a quick look over here. Connor's just leaving now to head out to the LCQ, so his car's rolling out from Vermont Sports Car.
No. Sorry, so Travis, it's really hard to win here, right? It's very difficult, but how have you found a way to kind of get that and hopefully repeat once again?
The interesting part about this track is the only way to pass is you got to just launch all the way to the outside, use the cushion, and drop in. The only other person so far that's really figured that out is Kyle Larson. Ollie Bennett was kind of figuring out a little bit before he had some trouble. He's had the worst luck. He's done the best driving I've ever seen him do. Chris Meek has been fully sending it in, and he's like, "You're blocking." I'm like, "Yeah." My job is to hold. If I'm leading, I qualified well, we got that position. If I can stay on the inside, I don't think it's the fastest way around. But no one is going to get around me. You're going to have to move me, and I'm sure in this final, Meek is going to move me. I'm very, very concerned that the best starting spot has been P4. Second row, outside, for whatever reason, has been absolutely blowing the doors off of everyone. Ollie was like, what happened? Same with my teammate, Connor Martell. And Chris Meek is in that spot. I have a feeling that there is going to be more contact between Chris and I in the final. He is my absolute hero. I feel like a fangirl every time I see him, and I feel horrible that we always seem to come together. But he's learning racecraft, and when he figures out how to get around, it's going to be ugly for the rest of us.
So no more contact between you and the final. Just get out front, get it done.
No, well, here's the deal. With this track, I'm blocking the insides. I won't pull away. You can't get away on the inside line. But, coming from you and Jared, I am not giving up the inside. The Hansons crushed me all year last year because I kept giving them the inside. So look, if they're going to pass me, they're going to have to do it on the outside. I was talking to Chris. I was like, "Oh, you should send it." And I was like, why am I telling him anything? So he's going to be there. It's going to be like the first place car. Hopefully we had great starts. Our engineers have done amazing. We've figured out, I hope, this electric start. My reactions have been great all week. If I can get to that first turn first, I'm going to be holding up the field. I'm going to be making everyone behind me upset. It's going to be a carnage and chaos because I'm not coming off the bottom. If I come off the bottom, you can kick me. It's my race to lose if I get to the first turn first.
All right, good luck, mate.
Thanks, guys.
Good luck, Travis.
So we're going to go this way. Jared's here. Jared. Jared, he thought he was having a few minutes off. But wait.
My man wanted a photo over here. We're not filming anymore. We're good.
Okay, we're over here. We wonder where the cameras are gone.
Yeah, we had to take a pit stop with Jared. Just say hi, check in with him, see how he's doing. I feel like Travis feels like this is his to lose. That's how I feel.
Yeah, it is. He's on pole, and he's referring back to last year. If you open the door in turn 1, you don't need asking twice. One of the drivers will sneak up the inside. He's going to try and keep the door shut. Now, what I'm intrigued about here is I don't know where the cars are. I haven't seen them all day, so we're going to come up the back here and try and find out. So,
can I come hang out?
Yeah, let's go. Okay, here we go. Fraser McConnell's car's out the back, so they're using the back half of the garage. Here we are. Lane Vakala's here as well. NRX next, the support category. That'll be on, of course, on Saturday and Sunday for round 6. Round 6 for these guys. Next we'll be running a double header. Fraser McConnell, winner last time out. Hasn't been a perfect day for him. Have you met him yet?
I have. Unfortunately, I met him when he got that first.
Oh yeah, he wasn't very happy, was he?
He wasn't. But you know what? That's about that resilience that you want to see from these guys, clawing your way back, getting a chance to really, because the finals is what matters.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, well, there we go. Fraser McConnell and all the rest of the Group E drivers been doing battle all day long. We've got the LCQ coming up. Only 2 drivers are going to make it through to the final. Who's it going to be?
It's going to be a lot of fun.
There are a few acronyms you need to know. NRX, Nitro Rallycross. LCQ, that's Last Chance Qualifier. There are only 2 that are going to advance on from the 5 that are in the LCQ. But here is how the grid is shaping up. TP, Travis Pastrana on pole. Next to him, Kevin Erickson. Second row, you got Robin Larson versus Chris Meek. And then on third row, Ollie Erickson and Fraser McConnell, the Jamaican, the most recent winner, Glenn Helen. And then again, 5 racers, only 2 are advancing on. Who's it going to be? We're talking about Connor Martell. We are talking about Austin Cindric, with Andreas Backrud, Chase Elliott, and then Ollie Bennett. Those 5 racers, 2 advance on. The other 3 are watching from the sidelines, crying in their beers. I mean, that's just the reality of it.
It is. They'll have a beer. I mean, on the plus side, it is cold now. Me and Jared we've had to hoodie up. Like, it's cold,
It's brisk. This is the desert. This is the desert. So what's great about that, and Travis brought it up earlier, is that, overnight, the moisture will stay in the dirt. We saw a lot of rain prior to coming here, but it's 70 degrees during the day. It's absolutely ideal. There's not a cloud in the sky, beautiful sunset. The making of such a great weekend. It being a doubleheader weekend has absolutely been phenomenal. From today, tomorrow, into Sunday. Round 5, round 6 overall of Nitro Rallycross. It's awesome.
Yeah, it is great. Love this place. Love this venue, and love him racing under the lights. There is Martel. Look, down on the grid already. Just rolled out from Vermont Sports Car a couple of minutes ago. Got the car down there. They're working really hard, or they were working really hard on Chase Elliott's car. So we're not even sure if Chase is going to have a fully fit car. There's Backerud.
Backerud's in the LCQ.
I know,
mean,
second in the standings, don't forget.
I know, that's what's crazy about that. Austin Cindric, Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott's had a tough go. Like, it seems like he's either dead on the start, kind of a DNS, or had to pull off and retire early on the other end. He hasn't gotten a full pull. Let's just call it what it is. We're riding there with Austin Cindric, 2022 NASCAR Rookie of the Year, Daytona 500 winner of 2022, and just a dominant force in racing. Here at FC1X, having a bit of a tough go, but I think it's just about his racecraft. He is familiar with the dirt, he is familiar with rallycross, but figuring out that car and feeling the flow, hasn't found that kind of math equation just yet.
Not just yet, no. I think the both of them. It's got to remember when these guest drivers are coming in that all the other drivers that are on the grid have been sitting in the car all year. Suddenly you're jumping in.
Except Chris Meek.
Except Chris Meek, who did a brilliant. Yeah, I mean, he had a couple of goes, didn't he?
All right,
the cars they're a bit heavier. They're a bit. They're taller. The suspension travel is more. They can jump like crazy, but all of those things you got to learn, and what the car's going to do. How's it lock up? How does it feel? What gear do you want to be in? They're so different.
And like you said, is it the gas pedal?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
That's right. I mean, the terminology. Yeah, the little terminology. You go back in and they'll be looking at the data and going, look, you hit the gas pedal here, and it doesn't matter because they know what they're referring to. But yeah, all those little things, how it works is so different.
All right, so we are getting set for our LCQ. There's only one more stop after this, and that is the finals. LCQ is upon us. Which two drivers are advancing on? 30 seconds to go, Coley, and there is the grid. Connor Martell, Austin Cindric on the front row. Andreas Backerud, Chase Elliott, and then bringing up the rear, Ollie Bennett. As you said, second overall in the battle brackets. Got a bit of, good luck with some bump and circumstance, let's call it what it is, but only 2 of these 5 will be joining the other 6 in the finals. 10 seconds to go, Coley, let's hear you get loud.
Here we go then, here we go. 2 NASCAR drivers on the outside. Can they take that high line and get themselves in front of 2 of our best Nitro drivers, Martell and Backerud? We weren't expecting to see them down here. A lot of wheel spin for everybody off the line. Martell's there. Backerud is going to get inside. Cindric, is he? They're going to run deep and high. Backerud super low down. Look how slick it is out there. Martell leads. Backerud slots into P2. Inside is Cindric. Chase Elliott does make the gap in the background, so I know Chase's car looks like it might be back up to full health at least, but it's Backerud and Martell at the minute in those crucial P1 and P2 positions.
Keep in mind, only 3 laps. The Joker lap is open. So when are you going to take it? You can't take it. So it's either the first or the second lap because you can't take it on the last lap.
You got to go now if you're leading. I wonder if Backerud will wait. So okay, that's Backerud's waiting because he thinks he can get the jump on it. But he will have lost some time there, Jared. He's had to lift when in front of him Martell's gone into the Joker, so he's lost a bit of time. Is that going to be enough for Cindric to be able to get past?
Look at just the attitude, not only of the POV drone cam, but Connor Martell. He is throwing that thing around, and here we go. So Connor Martell comes out of Yokohama Tire Joker lap, and in a second goes Andreas Backerud, and look at that.
Bennett up the inside of Cindric. He's then lost the position on the exit, but still a brilliant move.
I gotta give shout outs to Austin Cindric there. He did hit that Joker lap, and he's currently sitting in 3rd. That could favor him if he starts to nip on the heels of Andreas Backerud. He could get that other 2nd spot. Again, top 2. Everybody else there watching from the sidelines, that 8-car final. But Martell, Backerud, Cindric, 1, 2, 3.
Backerud's going to go now. He has to remember he can't go on the final lap. So in goes Andreas Backerud. Our predictor says no. and that's what we're thinking too. But it's more important is whether or not he holds on to P2. He has to make the final. He's second in the standings overall to his teammate Robin Larson. Coming out towards the merge now. Here goes Martel versus Backerud.
All right, so watch this. The big battle here is Cindric and Backerud, and Backerud gets it from Cindric. Cindric lost a lot of time. He goes from second all the way back to fourth. Backerud assumes that number 2 position. So Martel, Backerud, I believe this is how it's going to end, other than them making a mistake. Martel, Backerud, it has happened. There's a lot of turns left.
Martel's chucking it in big time, isn't he? I feel for Ollie Bennett like he's tried so hard today, and it's been a great performance, and he's going to miss out on the final, Jared. So hopefully he'll still take some confidence from his performances today. But Conor Martel, Andreas Backerud jumping up, dropping out now to the back section.
All right, so Conor Martel, you can see him ripping around and coming on in. So Conor Martel, Andreas Backerud, and a couple more turns here. And there's the My Energy vehicle. That is the 21 of Conor Martel. He's got Excite on the door now. And there is the checkered flag from Big B. Martel and Backerud are going to the finals. Ollie Bennett, Austin Cindric, and unfortunately Chase Elliott are not in the final. So a great effort by those two NASCAR heroes. And unfortunately, Ollie Bennett, who got second in the battle brackets, will be watching from the side. But we have an absolutely star-studded cast in the Nitro Rallycross Group E finals. There we are riding with Austin Cindric, rocking the Olsbergs, the Gel Blaster, and Dixon Flannels. They all got outfitted here locally by Dixon Flannels. A few of them between, Austin and the Ericssons, they all got outfitted. And here are the race results. Conor Martel gets that top spot, but guess what? He's on that 4th row. That is a hard position to be in. And Andreas Backerud bring up the rear, the Dreyer Reinbold JC RX Cartel. They're on that 4th row, Martel and Backerud. All right, so the finals are set. Coley.
Backerud scraped it. He's second in the standings to his teammate Robin Larson. He's got to try and make up as many points as he can from the back of the grid, Jared. So not ideal for him. Tough day for Ollie Bennett, as I say. Great performance in qualifying, then got pushed out. Well, really pushed. It was a racing incident in the heat race. Kind of gutted for him. The NASCAR guys haven't made it, but today was a good warm-up for them, I think, for round 6. And I think you'll see them come back, reset, and go again tomorrow.
Here is the LCQ. This is how it started. We saw Conor Martel. Like I said, he's been a bit of a punching bag throughout today, but he says, I'm going to get the clean air. I'm not going to mess with you guys. Andreas Backerud did get challenged by Austin Cindric, but he lost quite a few positions there, Coley.
I'm just looking at Martel, and he went wide in turn 1, Jared. Then he was super defensive up in the second hairpin. Here I thought he was going to come under attack, but not quite from Backerud. Backerud couldn't. I think Backerud did the right thing here. Watch here. So Backerud, he has to back off because they're just to come out to the right, but still he holds on. When Cindric went in there, I thought, Backerud might miss out here, but luckily he managed to get it at the merge.
All right, so Conor Martel comes out on top. Like you said, unfortunate for Ollie Bennett, Austin Cindric, and Chase Elliott. But Andreas Backerud fights to have a contention in the finals. You just want to make it there. You can't win in the LCQ. You can't even win in the heats or the battle brackets. You have to make it to the final in order to get a shot at holding up the trophy. 2 large trophies are given out, 2 belts for that TQ. Our finals are shaped up.
Bennett was getting wild, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he was properly having it out there at the back of the pack.
He was throwing some serious dirt roots there.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, 3rd place is not enough. And there you have it. And here is how our guaranteed rate Nitro Rallycross road to the finish line. So we've seen the 6 previous drivers, but there is pole, Travis Pastrana, Kevin Eriksson in front row, Larson and Meek on row 2, Eriksson and McConnell row 3, and finally the LCQ 1st and 2nd. Conor Martel and Andreas Backerud round out our finals. 8 vehicles, 11 entered, but only 8 are going to do battle. So as we are getting prepped, as we throw it down to another member of our team, Elisa, who is with our most recent winner, Conor Martel.
Woo! That was intense.
Yeah, it was. It was a good race. We were able to get out front and just run our own race, and that's what we've needed all weekend. I know we had the speed, but, you know, up to this point, we've just been battling with everybody, dealing with punctures and just unfortunate stuff, but the team has done an awesome job getting this car back to where I want it, and I'm really excited. We'll start back row of the final, and I think it's going to be pretty chaotic, so I'm hoping we can move our way up.
You're right. You've been taking some punches, but you were resilient in all of that. How did you take all of those hits and turn them into triumphs for this last race?
Yeah, you know, we just kind of sat down with my spotter and we're like, look, restart the whole weekend and let's just go out. It's a doubleheader, so even tomorrow we kind of just reset. So I did that. What I would do for tomorrow, I did that before this race, and it paid off. You know, we knew if we came out of the gate hot, we'd be able to just run consistent laps. Track actually held up really well, so I know in the final it's going to break up a lot. So I just can't thank everybody enough for helping me out.
Well, we appreciate the time here. Best of luck in the finals. Like you said, it's going to be chaotic and fun.
Thank you very much.
You saw that, Connor Martell, he's still got a little fight in him. Even on that fourth row, he's got to fight off a lot of dudes in order to get up front.
He needs everyone else to be punching each other in the face out front. If that happens, there's a chance he can sneak through. Anything can happen in turn one. We saw that brilliant start earlier from Ericsson from a couple of rows back. He's not giving up, is he? Made the final. If you're in the final, you're in with a chance.
And it's not that far-fetched. I mean, we saw everybody from the second row, and Travis was even saying that maybe it's not ideal to be on pole because we saw Kevin Eriksson shoot from that second row. Here's our Gel Blaster split screen moment, taking a look with the drone shot, the POV. And Connor Martell, like you said, he's got the fight. He's going to need to kind of let the dust settle, literally. And these are. Not only is this the most cars, this is the most laps, the most opportunity for passing or for crashing in order to rise to the occasion.
Look at that pass there again. Bennett sneaking up the inside. Cindric knew he was coming in hot, moved out the way and let Bennett go deep. Didn't want the contact, so did the right thing there. But yeah, I agree completely, Jared. We've been saying all day, particularly earlier on, looking at the battle brackets, 2 cars out at a time. There isn't enough to think about to distract you from making the mistakes. Whereas when we look back at, say, the battle seeding races earlier on today, where we had 5-6 cars out again together, and the heats and the semis and things, when you start thinking, can I defend from Matey Mush who's coming in off the merge, you go a bit deep, they go underneath you, the person behind mugs you, and having all those cars out on track is opportunity.
It's like a mosh pit, right?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Everybody's enjoying the music,
just like,
but who comes out on top?
It's like,
yeah, you know?
Yeah, that could be. Travis won't want that in turn one, but that could be what happens in turn one.
Yeah, it's going to get chaotic, so I'm looking forward to it. That's why we're here.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Actions speak louder than words. We just put an exclamation point on it, a British exclamation point or an American exclamation point. Regardless, it's an all-international affair here. Round 5, Nitro Rallycross, Wild Horse Pass, Motorsports Park. It's going down. The finals next.
Andreas, you get in with the CKTQ to advance to go to the finals. That race was pretty intense.
Yeah, I mean, this weekend haven't gone all the way so far, but you know what? We have the name, the myth, the legend, Tore Persson as my tire guy. I think we're gonna bounce back in the final, starting dead last. Anything can happen, and you know what? I'm just gonna send it.
Now, I just talked to the other racer like one, and I have to say, he called it chaotic. The finals would be chaotic. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, sure. Me at the back of the grid, yeah, it's going to be chaotic. I mean, anything can happen there. Let's see how the track looks when we get out there. Probably it's going to be hard to race like 6 laps. It's going to be flat out. We're so consistent with the electric cars out here, so it's going to be exciting from the green to the checkered. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun for the fans.
Is there any difference when you're going under the lights? Is there anything different in the dimensions now that the sun is set?
I mean, it's magnificent. Us race car drivers, rallycross drivers, haven't really done driving in dark with the lights. It's magnificent. It's beautiful. It has a lot to it. It gives us an extra kick, you know.
All right, Andres, thanks for your time. Get ready for the beautiful chaos.
Thank you.
Well said there, Elisa. I like that. The beautiful chaos. These beautiful. I mean, just these magnanimous words. Just flowing. It does feel a little special, a little brisk. You know, from earlier. You know, we saw the tumultuousness, but and when it comes to the rest of the weekend, we're done by happy hour.
Oh, yeah, I'm just laughing at Andreas Backrud using all those big, lovely words when earlier on he was struggling to spell cat or whatever. That's like suddenly he swallowed a dictionary.
Yeah. All right. So the next stop and the last stop on our Nitro Rallycross train is the finals. And let's dive a little bit deeper. And Coley did a great job kind of finding out more about what the vehicle is that is the FC1X. 1,000 horsepower, all electric. Some people are like, wait, what? Or they're saying like, no, electric. You know what? I challenge you to find a crazier electrified vehicle in motorsports. Coley, share the wealth, share the knowledge about the FC1X.
The new all-electric FC1X Rallycross car may just be the most innovative piece of motorsport machinery ever built. Precision engineered to the absolute limit, undoubtedly the most advanced Rallycross car to date. Inspired by the Group B era of the 1980s, Nitro RX's new Group E class has taken the biggest quantum leap since those heady days. Finally, the huge performance potential of EVs has been unleashed.
For me, the FC1X is the Group B of Rallycross. No one's ever seen a car this fast, have this much suspension, and it's just above and beyond any other car that's ever done Rallycross.
The Group E really takes that whole ethos of something completely ridiculous and put it on the track, and that's exactly what we've got here.
It's a rocket ship for sure. It's like nothing the rally world has ever seen before. We got big Yokohama tires on it to get the power down, so we not only have horsepower, we have speed as well.
The cool thing now is that we will have something that is, maybe it doesn't make the same sound, but it's going to be even quicker and more brutal.
I think in terms of the way it looks, it's very Group B, but with a lot more technology. Space frame chassis, which means you can basically do what you want with it. You're not limited on certain parts of the car for regulations. It's a clean sheet of paper.
This new Group E era will be even more spectacular in my opinion. You know, the technology that comes into it now. You know, we kind of got used to that we can fly longer than any car has flown. We can hit tracks that no car should ever be on, you know. That's what brings the new Spectra to Group E. What gets me pumped, you know.
It's an honor to be able to be the first people to ever drive this car, and it's a whole new future for Rallycross. Everyone knew it was going to go there, but they didn't know when, and to be a part of that group leading this charge on is a great feeling.
Nitro Rallycross is brought to you by My Energy, driving the charge to a sustainable future. Guaranteed rate. Now, more than ever, you need the best. A-Shock, a modern performance energy drink created for today's active generation. The Group E final is upon us, and we saw that beautiful sunset. It is gone because it is dark, but the lights are on. That is right. The Group E final is upon us. 8 vehicles out of 11. Whittled down, and they are going to be pulling up on the grid in just a little bit. We're going to be live, and we are live around the world, so thank you for joining us. I'm Jared Deanda, Andrew Coley. We also have Alyssa down on the ground. Tailgate Tommy.
Yeah, where's Tommy? What's he done today?
He's been like shooting gel blasters and throwing, A-Shock at us, and he's been having a good day.
He always has a good day.
It's been a great day.
We all want Tommy's job.
Yeah, I know. Tommy has the best job. He's a spelling bee. He's a teacher. He's giving life lessons to people. Here is the grid, the guaranteed rate road to the finish line, and this is who is in round 5 of Nitro Rallycross. We've had 4 previous rounds, 4 different winners. Are we going to change things up? Because we saw TP in Minnesota. We saw, who was it? Johan Kristofferson. We saw Robin Larson, and then most recently Fraser McConnell. Who's going to win here? Are we going to see another repeat customer? But Pastrana Ericsson on the front row, Larson Meek on second row, Ollie Erickson, Fraser McConnell on row 3, and then that last row, they got a lot of work, and Connor Martell thinks he could fight his way up there, but Andreas Backerud, he's making our way past our commentary box, making his way to the grid. The Norwegian pilots rounding out the DRR JC RX cartel duo of him and Robin Larson. They're 1 and 2 in the points, but being 4th place, or in that row 4, it's a lot of ground to make up.
Yeah, it's a tough ask when Larson's on row 2, Backward say at the back. But I mean, Larson's on that inside line. Can he get around the outside? Talking to Robin Larson, he's actually with Elisa now.
You're the first one to show up here, getting ready.
Yeah, it's good to be here early. Yeah, it's gonna be a special one under the lights, and yeah, it's a tight first corner. It's just gonna keep up the momentum we had during this season. It's been a little bit rough day, but yeah, it's all for grabs in the final, and Travis looking strong, but we will do everything we can to shake him up a little bit.
Now, the guys have said this is going to be chaos in the final round. As you're getting ready and looking at your position, you've been top qualifier twice. How can you kind of see the field in a different sense to get a better advantage?
Yeah, it's hard. During the circumstances and over the day, I'm pretty happy with the second row and inside. So, yeah, it's gonna be. We have a plan, but it's hard to follow that plan after the first corner. So let's see if he can get out like top 3 would be nice, and just try to score some points. But we'll see. It's gonna be probably chaos.
Well, best of luck out there, Larson. Appreciate the time. Now we're gonna come over here. So, Ollie, how you doing? Getting ready. One of 2 brothers in this race. How excited are you for this to get started?
Yeah, it should be good. First final under the lights. Yeah, it's a stacked field, so tough final coming up. So everything can happen here. We saw that last year as well. So yeah, I'm aiming for it.
How aggressive are you looking to be with the position you have in order to get ahead?
Yeah, you know, Nitro Rallycross is all about being aggressive. You know, I've had quite poor final placings in previous events, so always qualified well. So yeah, now I try to make the most of it in this final.
We're going to make the most of it. We can't wait to see a final race here. Best of luck to you.
Elisa getting all of, Elisa getting all of the dirt down there, and you know, Ollie seems really calm, surprisingly.
Yeah, there's still 10 minutes to go. I guess that's the thing, isn't it? They're not fully fired up yet. You got to save that adrenaline, but particularly with the length of today. I mean, look at this, broad daylight. This was first thing this morning, pretty much. Yeah. It feels like a long time ago. And this was the battle bracket races, I think, which was getting them into the seeding points. You know, we've had heat races, semi-finals, a whole 2-day event in one day. And I think the drivers probably are conserving their energy and waiting till they get in the car, light the fuse, go one last time.
And speaking of energy, that's what's going on right now. They're charging a lot of the vehicles, getting that My Energy put into their vehicles, and you know, it's just all about that conversion, because you know, we always say, you know, hey, putting fuel in the tank, putting tires in the cars. Well, they're fueling up the energy boosters. You know, they're putting all the energy into it. So talking about Elisa, she is with the 199. Travis Pastrana down there on the line. He's got a lot of energy when he's up here, but what's the vibe down there, Elisa?
The vibe is a lot of aggression. The guys behind you, they're looking to take your top spot there.
Yeah, everybody here believes we're the best. We all believe we can win, but I tell you what, this Power Plus Vermont sports car is absolutely on fire. We're going to change something in the start, which is a little skeptical, but they seem to think that the conditions are changing. And man, I know there's Chris Meek wants to kill me, and Larson's probably, you know, he's probably the most tactical guy out there. So, and then front row, I don't know how he got off to such a great start, Kevin, in his heat. So we're going to see what happens.
You talked a lot about making sure that when the guys hit the turns that you just put that extra acceleration so you can get in front of them. You looking to do that again?
Yeah, I mean, if you're in front, they have to go around you or through you. And the inside line's not the fastest line, but if I'm in front, I'm going to make them go around me or through me. I know Meek is probably going to go through me, so I'm hoping to get a little bit of a lead on that start.
All right, well, best of luck, Travis. We appreciate the time here. Best of luck again.
You know, he talks about Larson, he talks about Meek, but Kevin Eriksson, he's right next to him. Like you said, he's barely mentioning Kevin, but I think he's a big threat here today. We saw how well he did from the second row shooting out front, but now he's on the other side, and we talked about that pole position being quicker, but that second row is so fast. But Kevin,
the bells, I love it.
Are you in his head?
Yeah,
are you in his head, mate?
I just remember, I used to compete a bit, and I just remember that the moments before you go, they can be super intense. Everybody deals with it in different ways. I was terribly nervous. It was great when I asked Deegan at the last round. He goes, "Oh man, I'm nervous too," and it's like, wow, Brian Deegan's nervous. But that, you know, these guys might be your heroes. It doesn't mean they're not sitting in there full of adrenaline now. They're buzzing. Some of them are excited to go. Some of them have got those nerves in there, but you use that energy to get the performance and go for the win. So 8 cars down there. Only one can take the win. We've got all 4 of our previous winners this season are on the grid as well. It's going to be tough.
And here we go. Green means go. You can see it on the side of the vehicles on the front. That's letting you know these Group E cars are absolutely ready to shred. Here is our grid. Again, once again, pole position, Travis Pastrana, TQ, top qualifier. He holds the belt. Kevin Eriksson also on that front row. Second row, Robin Larson, Chris Meek. Robin Larson, our points leader. Third row, Ollie Eriksson and Fraser McConnell, our most recent winner at Glen Helen. And then the final row, Connor Martell and Andreas Backerud rounding it out. So watching from the side, Ollie Bennett, talking about Chase Elliott and Austin Cindric. Hopefully they get in it in round 6 of Nitro Rallycross. Here we go. We are ready to send it. Let's get loud. Here is our finals. Round 5, Nitro Rallycross, Group E, 1,000 horsepower. That's 8,000 horsepower, all electric. What's crazy is you hear the noise of the gravel hitting that carbon fiber, hitting the fiberglass, and hitting you right in the face. We are ready to get loud, and get ready to send it. Lick the stamp, because guess what? We are ready to do a special delivery all up in your cerebellum. NITRO. Let's go, baby. On that front pole is Travis Pastrana, Kevin Eriksson. Who's going to get the whole shot? Here we go.
Loads of wheel spin from all the cars. Pastrana's got away really nice. He's got to nail it onto that inside line now, Jared. Kevin Eriksson trying to go all the way around the outside. It's Meek who's looking to come up alongside. Pastrana was worried Meek would be there, and he's right there in behind him. Oh, Eriksson spins in the background over the crest, goes sideways. McConnell hits him backward, gets up into P5. Eriksson going to spin the car round. Out front is Pastrana, but it's his nemesis Meek who's right behind him. And Larson too looks up the inside of the Englishman.
Well done there. Oh, and look at that. Look at Larson gets into the bank there on the A-shot gap jump. So Meek in second, as you said, TP Meek, that's where it's at right now. Ollie Eriksson jumps up to third. Travis Pastrana takes the Yokohama Tire jump lap. Austin Meek goes to take the traditional lap as Ollie Eriksson follows him in.
I think Meek changed his mind there, Jared. I'm not 100%, but it looked like he dived on the brake, back on the gas, back on the brake again. He doesn't want to follow Travis in. It's hard to pass here. You've got to have an alternate strategy. He needs to joker on a different lap. He's now going to close down as much as he can. There he is.
Yep,
coming in hot around the outside. He's already on the back of him. He's up the inside of him. Chris Meek's alongside Travis Pastrana over the A-Shock Energy gap jump. Meek is really challenging here.
Ooh, Meek looks like he cased the landing on that. You saw him jump up and over that step up, and Meek cases it, and Meek shuts it down. He cased that landing on the step up. It shocked the system, and he comes to a halt. Look at that. Ollie Eriksson, Backerud now jumps up. Pastrana's got a lot of clean air, but Backerud challenging Ollie Eriksson. It looks like he gets up into that second position. Keep in mind, Backerud came from that back row. Going into the Joker lap, looks like it is Kevin Eriksson. No, Ollie Eriksson, excuse me. Ollie Eriksson goes in. Pastrana out front. And this is kind of what we expected. The TQ gutted for me.
Oh, we've been robbed of a great race. That's why I'm gutted, Jared, because when Travis came out of the Joker, Chris was already on his 6 o'clock, and I mean on it. They were rubbing bumpers in turn 1. If he'd have gone Joker on lap 2, I think he could have got him. And as you said, we saw him case the jump, and it's broken the car. So
right there, that is where Meek. Oh my gosh, look at that thing. Is that Fraz? I believe that's Fraser McConnell there. He's got a bit of a nose job. But look at the gap that Travis Pastrana has over Connor Martell. That's 2.6 seconds between Pastrana and Martell. Martell now hitting that fast lap. Yeah, look at that. Hey, Kevin Eriksson, I mean, he went sideways. We didn't even talk about that. Sideways over the jump. He's retired. He is a DNF. What are we looking at here?
I wasn't sure if Larson's got a puncture in the background. Might have pushed the tire off the rim. Where is he now? Is this Larson coming through? No, that's Fraser McConnell with the hood hanging off the car. At the minute, it's a 1-2 for Vermont Sports Car. So this is a great result coming down to the merge now. And Martell gets in front of Backerud. So Backerud's there. He's coming under pressure now from Eriksson as well. But yeah, 1-2 for Vermont Sports Car. But 2 laps still to go, Jared. Everybody who's still in contention is joking. Kevin Eriksson's out. So that's as a result of the spin on the first lap over the jump as well.
Meek and Eriksson are out. Also, I want to point out Fraser McConnell. He is crab walking that car over jumps. I mean, that car is absolutely beat up, but he continues on. Pastrana Martell, as you said, Vermont Sports Car 1 and 2, the Power Plus vehicle out front, and then the My Energy Excite Vermont Sports Car. Connor Martell there in second. Backerud, he's in third. Ollie Eriksson, Fraser McConnell, Robin Larson, our points leader, all the way back in the back in sixth.
He's losing time. He's lost another 1.7 seconds. I don't know what's happened to Larson, but this is not his day. So Backerud managing to flip around his fortunes here. He dragged himself into the back of the grid, and at the minute he's on for a podium. Would be a brilliant result, but he's got to fend off the attention of Ollie Eriksson. He's only 0.4 of a second behind, and Eriksson will have to pass on track if he wants to. As in the background, you can see another car crabbing over the start finish jump. So was that McConnell again?
I believe that was McConnell. So what's interesting here too, let's point it out. We're talking about Robin Larson. He hasn't been any worse than second place of all the previous rounds. What I like about this is commentators, it changes the dialogue. You know, it's not just the Robin Larson show who's out front. It changes things up. With Pastrana getting the mix, he had a lackluster, he's sitting 6th in points coming to this round. He had a lackluster Glenn Helen. He's been kind of, you know, peaks and valleys. But obviously when he went to Minnesota, it all came to fruition.
It's going to be interesting to see, isn't it, if he can carry that momentum through to round 6, Jared. We've got Saturday, Sunday standard race weekend still to come after running under the lights. And Pastrana's got another lap to go. He's got to get this done. Conor Martell, this would be an amazing result for him. Martell's best result this season has been P6. Wow. Suddenly he's going to get up on the podium and a backward for the back row. That's just a hell of a story.
And this is also another story there for Martell, because Martell has been beat up so much. He's had terrible luck. Yeah, I mean, it just this just goes to show you, like I said, it bears repeating. You can't win in battle brackets. You can't win in qualifying. Martell got into a tussle with the tires, but he fights it off.
He nudged the tires. He was dicing with it. He was dicing with it.
And Pastrana keeps on keeping on, and Conor Martell is right there in the wings. He's shadowing him. He looks like he's his wingman. Backerud sitting there in 3rd. Martell maybe challenging Travis there a little bit. And here we go with the checkered flag. Travis Pastrana gets it. The checkered flag is Travis Pastrana, Conor Martell there in 2nd. Backerud, Ericsson, Larson, and McConnell. So 1, 2, and 3, like you said, the best position for Martell is 6th up until now. He gets 2nd place. Thumbs up for Travis.
Hell yeah. Pastrana becomes the first double winner in Nitro Rallycross this year.
That's right.
His teammate Martell on the podium for the first time this year. So plenty of firsts. Pastrana with a great drive there. What might have been a different story if Meek had stayed in for a bit longer. But yeah, real shame with what happened to Chris, Case in that jump. Travis with the celebratory donuts. Last year it was in the Subaru. This year it's in the FC1X. I think the team would be saying, Travis, we need that car for the next 2 days. Wind it in on the donuts. Yeah, just chill, dude.
Just a couple donuts. All right.
Oh, look at Fraser's car, Jared.
Oh, man. So the work begins now for them as we do have the double header.
Rear right's broken. You can see it's poking into the wheel arch, which is why he was coming over the jumps at the very exciting angles.
He was drifting midair.
I mean, look at that. It's no problem compared to the time he parked it in a lake, completely smashed to bits. I mean, you know, it's merely a flesh wound.
Bite your ankles. So Fraser McConnell there finishes out in 6th. And like you said, Meek, oh man, he was right on it, but just going up to that tabletop, he cased the landing on that 2nd hip, and that just shut the car down, and Meek had to park it. And there's Travis, Conor, 1 and 2.
Dude, what happened? Yeah. 1, 2. What's your cost yourself? Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Dude, Meek and I, why do we always find each other?
I know. Listening to the dialogue there.
I love it, yeah.
Yeah, you know, he's talking about Meek and him going at it, and they're a hug for the Vermont Sports Car 1 and 2.
Big relief for Conor Martell. First time on the podium for him in the FC1X, and he needed that result. He really did. It's his teammate Travis Pastrana, though, who takes his 2nd win of the season. Amazing job by the American. He was challenged hard by Chris Meek early in the race, but Meek retires. Teammate Martell P2, Andreas Backward from the back row of the grid to 3rd. Fantastic.
What happened? Bombs went off.
Travis, 1-2 puncher. You guys are celebrating. Like you said, how proud are you from not only yourself, but your teammate here?
Dude, Vermont Sports Car, you guys are absolutely awesome. And we've been quick. We've been quick all year. And it just, man, so many DNFs, so much stuff went the wrong way. Conor, that LCQ was like the final. I mean, 2 of the guys that made it in the LCQ are here on the podium. I couldn't say enough. All the guys, all the Nitro crew, everybody that came out tonight, man, this is awesome. All right. Hello, Addie. Hello, Bristol. Hello, wifey. And happy Veterans Day, Dad. Love you guys.
You gotta love that. You're the back-to-back winner. You repeat. How great, how big of an accomplishment is that?
And Mom, I couldn't be here without you. No, I tell you what, it was an amazing. I mean, when Chris Meek and I feel like everyone else on the track feels like I'm a pretty good racer. I raced clean, and Chris and I come together every single time. We collided over the jump. I actually didn't know he was beside me until Noah's like, on your left. I was like, oh, we're in the air. So definitely, it's just so good. We needed this result. We needed it for the team. So proud of Connor. So proud of everyone at Vermont Sports Car. Thank you all so much.
You gotta look at this amazing trophy right here. Hold that up. Be proud of it. Look at that. First place for the Vermont sale. Now I'm gonna go talk to your team.
Yokohama, thank you.
I'm gonna talk to your teammate here, as he said, from the last chance to the second place here. How proud of you of how you've been able to battle back?
I'm not even proud of myself. I'm proud of my team. You know, they have been working on this car so hard all year after I've been beating the crap out of it. So I am super stoked for them more than I am myself, and for my spotter Peter, all my friends from Vermont who came. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. My mom, all the fans. You guys are awesome. So my energy, Excite, Power Plus, thank you so much. And Vermont Sports Car, Lance, this one's for you, buddy.
Now, you said earlier, you were like, I'm not sure how I'm going to do this, but I'm going to be aggressive, obviously. How were you able to pull this off with the 1-2 punch here?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't really have a lot of pressure starting from the back, and I just wanted to see how it played out. And we actually started with a different map, and it went really well. And I just tried to, I was joking with everybody. I was like, I'm going to cannonball the first turn. But we were able to just kind of push our way through, and I'm pretty sure we were actually last going into turn 2, and everything just broke loose. I saw Kevin sideways up the phase. I was like, I don't know what's going to happen, but we just ran our race, and we were able to get up to P2. I don't even know how that's possible.
As your teammate said, did you just do that? Did you just do that?
Yeah, I guess we did do that. So thank you, Vermont Sports Car. It was awesome. Also, shout out to Off-Road Armor. Go check out their website. They're awesome.
Awesome. Congratulations again. Such an amazing race. And you drink that. Tastes good? Victory tastes good?
Oh yeah, I mean, not win, but third. I take that any day after where we started today. I think I was clean, you know. I came through. My buddy Joe Norton here, he spotted for Kyle Busch last year. He was in the same position, and he ended fourth, so I had to kind of step it up one more step. And yeah, I just want to say a big thanks to the RX Cartel, DRR, and JC Race Technique for putting on an awesome car in that final. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and we're gonna have a go tomorrow as well. So yeah, let's see how it goes.
Down but never out. You found yourself again battling for that last spot. You're here, third in the podium with the 1-2 punch here. How proud are you? How competitive you've been able to race today?
I mean, I haven't felt that good today, but I must give it up to Travis. He's been awesome all day long. Also the hammer, Conor Mattel there. He's been. I mean, he have had some tough luck, and today he shows his speed in the final, which is awesome for him. You know, he's a kind of a rookie, and he shows now his class. So I think it's great for Vermont Sports Car. They've been the fast car out there today.
Now, you're still second in the standings, so there's lots to be proud of. Obviously, a lot of racing to still be done. How excited are you for the rest of the couple days?
I mean, I'm pumped. I love this track. Wild Horse Pass is an awesome track. Loads of dirt, loads of jumps. I'm kind of one of the only one that didn't race here last year, so I played catch up from the early morning till the final. So I'm gonna work, continue my pace from the final until tomorrow.
Well, the drink's in your hand. The chain looks good. Make sure you celebrate.
Oh yeah, we will.
Lisa, again, just really asking all the really good questions in regards to, you know, emotion, what's going on, standings. Here we are, 5 rounds in. You know, we scheduled a 10-round championship overall. We were intended to go to Saudi. That got definitely postponed. You know, it might go into next year. We'll see. We have 2 rounds in Canada, that's for sure. TBD on some other ones. Kind of got some things cooking, but overall, let's call it halfway through the season.
Oh, mate. It's
round 5.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And only now have we had our first double winner. The fact that we, you know, and in fact, those 4 of the people in the race had won, the other 4 clearly not, but they hadn't even been on the podium. We missed the fact, I mean, Martel's first podium, yeah, great, but the fact he came from the back row with Bakary is insane.
Both LCQ boys, that's right.
They would be hoping for carnage out front. There was a bit, I mean, here, look, this is over the jump, 3-way contact there. That's when Kevin goes, oh, Fraser did well to kind of avoid him. He mostly avoided him. And then finals under review.
Go inside. That's where Fraz got his nose job.
Yeah, it is. Now I wanted to see what Travis was talking about with Chris. Here it is. So over the jump, they said, "Watch out, he's on your left." Okay, so a little bit of contact there. Okay, so yes, Chris has maybe broken it on the first jump of the contact. Chris will be feeling a bit gutted about that, but that's absolutely a racing incident, 100%.
Yeah, I don't think that's malicious. You see there, contact mid-air, and
nothing you can do.
That could have caused Travis to brake. That could have caused, and it did cause Chris to brake. And there you go, crab walking. Look at that, he's drifting, but he's not. Oh man.
Oh, okay. So he broke the right rear. The right rear toe link was broken, and the rear left tyre was off. So that was super hard work for Fraser McConnell to even hold on to that. Look at the pressure here that Conor Martell put Travis under on the run down to the flag. Pastrana jumping back in for that checker flag for the second time this year. There's Big P giving it the double wave checkers, I think it was. Yeah, it was. Yes, Big P, you legend.
And here is some drone footage here, just riding, and look how tight it is, the traffic. You saw Larson and Meek get into it, and look at Martell and Backrud in that backpack.
They're still in 7 and 8 at that point.
Crazy.
They haven't made it anywhere at that point. Now suddenly, look, pinged off to the side. So-and-so has a spin. This car's broken. Yeah, it's never over until it's over. You've got to book your spot in the final. That's the thing, really. The old last chance qualifier really lives up to its name today, because those guys only just made it, and yet they're on the podium. Here they are, look. Now they're in P4 and 5. Now Meek's gone off. Suddenly, they're in P3 and 4. And they just kept... Look, he runs wide. Up he goes another position. So they just kept nicking away, and that's what Conor was saying. Somehow we fought our way through. That was it. They were there.
Yeah, and that's the pieces fall where they may. And Backerud and Martell going from that back row, jumps up to second and third. And Vermont Sports Car with a 1 and 2, like you said, Martell's first podium behind the TP, as you said, the first ever two-time winner here this season. So Travis Pastrana, like I said, had a bad Glen Helen, but jumps up here and came in 6th in points, but shaking things up, especially with Larson jumping back there. All right, so let's take a look at the best pass of Nitro Rallycross Round 5. And here is our My Energy best pass. And this was in the battle brackets. And this looks like Bennett and Erickson. Let's take a look. Remember this?
I know where it is.
This was good.
I do remember it. It was a great pass. He's side by side here. And is that the pass? Because I'm thinking the one down in the bottom here. No, okay, so we're thinking of a different pass. It's up the inside here. No, okay, that's so no. The one that I thought was the best pass was actually the one down in the underpass.
Oh, yeah,
that's fine. I actually think Ollie really deserves it today for the huge step up in pace. Yeah, he had a rotten finish to the day, but fantastic driving by Bennett. I'd forgotten that pass. He was one of the only people to pass at all in the battle brackets, and it's fitting that he's a My Energy driver who takes that My Energy best pass. Nicely done.
All right, the My Energy best pass to Ollie Bennett, but let's take a look at the A-Shock Big Air moment. All right, here's the A-Shock Big Air moment. What do we got here? Who aired it out the most? I mean, and it looks like Erickson, and I believe that's Kevin Erickson, correct? Big air there from him. Kevin Erickson, got Dixon on the hood. Congratulations to him. They make it look so easy. That's what's crazy, right?
The car's very good at jumping, isn't it? That was one of the main design specifications, was can you make it jump even bigger jumps than we're doing before? And yes, we can is the answer. Nicely done. One of the biggest jumps is over the start-finish line. Go stand down by the catch fence if you're here at the venue and watch there, because it's awesome. Something to behold. Head height.
Yep. All right, so Kevin Erickson gets the A-Shock Big Air moment. All right, and this is the fastest lap of the day, and it's Fraser McConnell. Fraser McConnell from Jamaica with the, again, guaranteed rate fastest lap, and Fraser McConnell in the final. Well done. Or was it Conor Martell? It's Conor Martell.
It's Conor Martell, yeah.
I'm sorry.
We're getting some bomb info.
Yeah, so 50.5, it's Conor Martell.
I was wondering how Fraser McConnell had done that, Jared, with 2 corners missing from the car. I thought that might have been a big ask.
Yeah. All right, so Conor Martell comes out on top. He gets second place and the guaranteed rate fastest lap. Congratulations to the Hammer, a.k.a. Conor Martell. He drops the hammer on everybody else and gets that guaranteed rate fastest lap overall. So the making of a great event. The other events won't be under the lights. We'll be wrapped up by happy hour, as I like to call it. But we have, again, going into battle brackets tomorrow, and then going into the main event, round 6, Nitro Rallycross, doubleheader weekend.
Yeah, man. It's big points up for grabs. Can the people that were doing well today manage to carry that momentum forward into the rest of the weekend, or are we going to see some of the people on the back foot fight back?
All right, the Gel Blaster split screen moments here. Taking a look at what went down here. Travis Pastrana, it was all him. He went from top to bottom. That seems to be the trend. Just most recently in Glen Helen, Fraser McConnell, TQ, he gets the win. It's just feeling that momentum, feeling that flow. Gutted for Ericsson, gutted for Meek, but you got to keep it together.
And Pastrana did keep it together. It's hard work to do that. I think, Jared, people forget in a Rallycross weekend or today in a Rallycross day, he's had to do it all the way through. Time practice to get a good grid slot in the seeding race, then good result there, then win the battle brackets, then he wins his heat. You know, you've got to keep piecing it together all day long. Yeah. It's not easy. It's so one little trip up and it doesn't happen, and he hasn't tripped up, and he's the first double winner this season, so well deserved.
Sometimes it fares you very well when you come up here in the announcer's booth, see perspective, see the lines, see how the track is transforming, and I think that might lend well for Travis's, effort of a championship this year as well. If he gets that kind of insight on the track and his position today, I think he's got some good momentum going into round 6.
It's an interesting reset from what was definitely not a good weekend in Glen Helen. 2 mistakes, the same mistake twice. Drivers hate that, and particularly Travis will hate that. He's a real perfectionist. He's quite hard on himself. He made the same mistake, ended up in the same wall twice, didn't he, in damp conditions on the far hairpin. And that just wasn't a good weekend. So 10 days later, full reset. Absolutely smashed it for round 5. Can he do the same again for round 6? If he can, he could drag himself back into contention, but Backerud keeps scoring, Larson keeps scoring. We're going to have a look at the standings actually as well, which is going to give us an idea of how things lie.
And I'm really interested to have some words with Larson. What went wrong? What went wrong for him? I mean, it's not, again, I didn't really see him get to too big of a tussle. He didn't go sideways like Ericsson, didn't have a puncture. Why does the relationship of Larson and Wild Horse Pass Motorsports Park not work well together?
Yeah, it's not his. First time he's not in, P2 or above. He's been all year, but he is still in the final. He still did all right in qualifying, and that's that. You just got to have no bad weekends if you want to be right up there in the championship. And the guys who are right up there haven't had any bad weekends. They've always been there or thereabouts.
And here are the standings as Robin Larson still holds on to it. Backerud, Fraser McConnell, and Pastrana goes from 6th to 4th, and you can see the gaps closing. And that's why I was saying, as commentators calling the action, we like the plot to be thickened up a little bit. We don't want a breakaway moment, and this closes the gap for all the drivers.
Yeah, but particularly look at the top, Jared. That's the gap I'm keenest on. Robin Larson versus his teammate Andreas Backerud. Backerud just scrapes it through to the final, gets a P3, and closes down the championship lead to just 13 points. You can get 8 for a top qualifier, so that is very much on, and that can create friction with the garage. They're both great blokes. I'm not suggesting it will, but it can. It gets to the point, do you want to share the data? Do you want to look at the other person's on boards? So it's going to be a great end to the season. Going to be a great end to the season.
All right, as we're kind of wrapping things up here, round 5, Wild Horse Pass Motorsports Park, we throw it down to our other member of our team, Elisa. What's up?
So I'm here in the hangar with you. Obviously not the result you wanted, physically set, but what did you see out there? What takeaways do you have for today's race?
Yeah, I kept it clean, the whole way. It was carnage pretty much everywhere. Came out, 4th, Robin got the puncture. Easy podium, Chris and Travis fighting, and then, I don't know. I just seemed... I can't catch a break, it seems like, As soon as I have a podium spot, some weird beep happens, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Did you feel like anything was different, or you had like a certain things that just didn't go your way?
Yeah, it was going well. I was P2 up until I think Chris tried to get out the way, but it chose the wrong way. I was already there, so then, driving 4 laps with 3 bent wheels are tough, so I tried the best I could, but missed out once again on a podium.
Now, obviously, when you have a loss like this, it doesn't feel like anything, but you have to take away some good from the races that you had today. What are some of those good things?
I know speed is good. Start in the final is good as well, so I think we raced well, you know. I don't know what happened everywhere. It was just carnage everywhere, you know. I tried to race clean. I had the car in one piece for a long time, but yeah, something always goes wrong, so it feels like.
We appreciate the time. Tough loss today, but thanks for having us.
Thank you.
We're down here. They're back. They're back.
He's over here.
There's nobody here. If you look around, they're all outside, waiting for the drivers to come back. Connor Martell is the first. I think is Travis here as well, or just Connor?
You did it, buddy. You did it. Oh
He's
my
stoked.
gosh,
He's got some of his support here this weekend, and I know how pleased you'd be about that.
Here he is. The Hammer's in the building, dude. From the back row, man. Yeah. That's both you and Backerud from the back row, and that just proves tenacity, right? I mean, just fighting for it, not giving up, and here you are, your first podium.
Yeah, I don't even know what to feel about that, to be honest.
Well, guess what? You got to do it again on Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. Now the pressure is really on. No, I mean, the team, I've struggled all year out on the track. The team has done an awesome job, and for it to finally pay off, especially having such a bad day at the beginning, is huge. And, you know, I feel like everyone can see that me and Backerud have a rivalry on the track, because the past 3 races, it's just like we're magnets and we battle really hard. And, you know, like we had a really good battle. He got me off track today, and I gave it back in the finals. So, you know, I can't ask for much more, and I'm so happy for the guys, more for myself actually, because this season has been hard with them. They've had a lot of work.
Is that a bit of a monkey off your back in terms of pressure? Because you know you've had the pace this year, but you just haven't got a result. And I know when you get one, I know, is this going to open the floodgates now?
I think so. I think the hammer's been out now. It's go time, you know. And my spotter came on the radio. He's like, nice and easy. And I came on the radio. I said, you know, I'm going to try and get Travis.
Hey, let's close. Here, let's walk inside. Your team's over here. Let's get nice and cozy in here. It's well lit. The vehicles aren't here, but Travis joining us over here. Vermont Sports Car, bringing it all together. And Travis, you and the Meek Magnet, you got your belts. You and me, the Meek Magnet, bro.
I need to grab I don't know. Oh, hello. Both. Yeah, thanks. I need to grab a beer or a 6-pack or maybe like a pallet and go over. So Backerud came up and gave you a hug, even though you guys have been going back and forth. It's all fun and games, but he sends it so much harder than Noah was like, 1 car back, on your left. I'm in the air. I'm like, oh, not on my left. Like, we're together, flying over this jump. Like, I went under him pretty much. Chris, I'm sorry. You are literally my hero, and I sincerely apologize that I always seem to ruin your days. I'm going to get sent, and I'm okay with that. I understand it's coming, but man, I tell you, this Vermont Sports Car crew, it was cool having Noah Gregson just jumped in. Congratulations to Dan, my usual spotter, and who runs the team. He had a kid this weekend, so hope everything's going good.
Yeah, I must remind you, lads, that you can't get too hard on the adult beverages, because we are doing this again tomorrow. So this is one you can't celebrate too hard, Travis.
We won the wrong race.
Yeah. We did.
Denied.
Yeah. You know, I'm so proud of the team. Look, the smiles there. We've had the roughest year we could ever imagine, and Connor, we've known he's fast, and he was definitely the fastest guy on the track today, and we'll have another shot tomorrow to see if he can get it to P1.
Well, Travis, you did this last year as well. You know, you got top qualifier, you got TQ. Why does it work out so well for you here at this track compared to any other ones, like Glen Helen most recently?
Thanks, buddy. No, it's a motocross track. So, you know, a lot of the guys, the Yokohamas are such a good tire, but a lot of the guys on the jumps, they'll land sideways, or there's some ruts, and it's about trying to manage what you have. Some of the off-road guys that have a little bit of experience with that, it's helped. I've had 1 flat all year, and I tried to get the flat. I sent it in as hard as I could back. You guys saw. I just wanted to see what would happen. So it's managing what you have and a little bit of luck for sure. Definitely there was drivers faster than me today, but we were able to get it done, and that's the opposite of all year where we've been the quickest and haven't been able to get it done. So hopefully it's a start to a good run for Vermont Sports Car.
The Hammer likes to party. What do you got there? Your shoe is off.
Doing it on the podium. We can do it on the podium. Okay.
No.
3 minutes.
We're out of here.
We're out of here. We're down.
Whoa. Come on.
You're not out of here just
anyway
yet.
It's an insight. You don't get it.
Yeah.
The TV guys are saying do it here. Do a shoey, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, no lifting, you
do it
two.
right here.
That's better.
So Connor Martell, his first podium here. Travis is popping off his racing boot. So you're saying you're going in with champagne shoes tomorrow?
See that, like,
Of course, I don't care.
Whoa.
Shoes are fine. He said, have you ever drank Bailey's from a shoe? He's like, when we go 1-2, we're drinking Bailey's from a shoe. But I guess
And
we
I
got
don't have
champagne.
Bailey's. But I'm
we weren't
gonna get
expecting
some
it.
tonight.
Have you got more shoes for tomorrow? Is this the only pair of shoes you've got?
I have another pair. He's stuck with.
I'm stuck with this. I love the smell of champagne. It smells like victory. Let's do this.
Well, congratulations, Connor Martell, Travis Pastrana. We got a bit of a shoe here for these boys. He's a repeat customer, his first podium here. We got a lot of cameras
I wish
going
you
on.
could see what's behind the cameras here. Why don't you guys turn around and have a look? There's everybody with their phones behind you. Have a look around here. Have a look behind you here. Everybody's got the phones
There
up.
it is.
Yeah, so
Well done.
great. Oh, mate, amazing. So Travis with that's actually the fourth Nitro Rallycross win for Travis. He's the winningest driver in Nitro Rallycross history now. He was equal with Timmy Hansen. Now he's out in front with 4 to him and 3 to Timmy Hansen.
Yeah, congratulations, Travis. Congratulations, Connor Martell. Andreas Backerud rounding out the podium here. Round 5, Nitro Rallycross, Wild Horse Pass, Motorsports Park. On behalf of Andrew Coley, Elisa, as well as Street Bike Tommy, thank you so much. And guess what? We're going to do it all again. So wash up those boots. Chug a little bit of champagne, but you got to wash, rinse, repeat again. So thanks for joining us. I'm Jared Deenda. This is Nitro Rallycross. Thank you guys so much. Here in the desert, where you got the high-flying cars and the tracks that thrill, Nitro Rallycross. Come back at you again for round 6.